They're not going. They won't go on this one. There's too many. There's still guys down there. They'll do one more, so we'll get. I think we'll get it just as the race begins. Oh. Right, I can see El Pushcart.
Okay, Dante on the right. Dante leading out of turn 1. Rory
40's round. Montfort B's round.
Got going again pretty quickly. Dante's got a good run up to the hill. He's going to have the run up through Spoon.
So we had one spinner.
Dante coming down the hill. Rory still there in second. Everybody else filing down the hill. Yannick Brandt's had a good start, is up to P4.
I think Rory Smith right on the back of Dante.
Yeah. Question call on Devil's Elbow, looking very slippery.
That one there called question on Devil's Elbow.
But question's the first one, Devil's Elbow is kind of complex. That's in the second place.
They span out, yeah, it just got to
Sam Johnson challenging Smith, second contact. Well, good morning everybody and welcome to Gors Park in North Wales for round 5 of the British Universities Karting Championship 2020. My name's Andrew Mather, alongside me in commentary is James Jonestone, with commentary provided to you by Double Dash Motorsport Media on this Alpha live stream. You join us early stages of race number 1 here at Gors. Dante Dillon is your leader from pole position for Nottingham Trent University, circuit that he knows well. He's raced here in the past in other series and he's looking very comfortable at this stage of the race, James, with Rory Smith from Birmingham not too far behind.
Yes, absolutely. It's a fantastic fight going on between Rory Smith and Sam Johns for second place. Obviously, Dante Dillon with a very good start, and we unfortunately missed. But yeah, all going well for Dante at the moment at the front, and hopefully we'll be seeing a very decent scrap for the lead coming up anytime soon.
Absolutely. If this is the first time that you've been watching one of these BUKC and Club 100 streams, Rory Smith is right on the tail end now and is going to have a good run up the Dragon Straight. As you say, James has got very close to the lead all of a sudden. Two very experienced drivers here. Smith up the inside for Birmingham and takes the lead. So Birmingham A, the Clubman's team, leading here early stages of race 1 of round number 5. That was a clinical move there. I don't know if Dante made a slight little mistake. But Rory Smith and all of his experience pouts, but Dante Dillon back up the inside through Carousel Corner, one of the best overtaking opportunities around the circuit. But it is greasy out there this morning so far, and Sam Johns is going to be in here as well, takes second place for Trinity A away from Nottingham Trent.
Fantastic bit of racing there from Rory Smith. He got a little error coming into Carousel, which Dante tried to make the most out of, but ran a bit onto the grass there. So that has allowed Sam Johns to come through now into second place. Meanwhile, Yannick Brandt keeping an eye on this, as Sam Johns now very interested in the rear end of Rory Smith, heading through the final corner, starting the fourth lap of this race, and he has now got a little bit of a run coming up the Dragon Straight. Are we going to see a repeat of what we saw on the last lap? Is Rory Smith going to be sent down the inside? He defends to the inside, which is surely going to give Sam Johns an opportunity down the inside into Spoon. Oh, he comes out a bit wide. Rory Smith, is defending well and has held on to position, but as we head down towards the carousel, Sam Johns looking to the inside line. Rory Smith running wide once again, putting a very similar move to what we saw on the previous lap. Is he going to be able to hang on to lead? No, not for now. Sam Johns taking the lead down the inside, but as we head into the compression corner, it is still Sam Johns leading.
So you've got to think at this stage of the race, these two drivers looking a little bit quicker than Dante Dillon at this stage. I was saying that, Dante Dillon with a good couple of corners down through Devil's Elbow. These three will probably try and work together. You just see Yannick Brandt behind there as well, in number 61 Queen Mary A kart, in the red suit and the red and yellow helmet. Don't want him to become part of this fight for the lead. It's a long, long race, just about 20 minutes of it to go. We'll see these three drivers starting to work together. But Sam Johns definitely got a lot of pace in that couple £100 by Rotax Evo kart. Coming over the top of the hill. There's Yannick Brandt there, the number 61. Oxford Brooks B not too far behind as well. Driving for them in this first race is Angus Fender.
A couple of movers through the field. Got Oxford Brooks D and Bournemouth A and Nottingham A all making up 3 positions, as Kingston A have fallen by the wayside somewhere along the line. They continue to tumble down the order. So something's happened to Kingston, Exeter and Warwick C. So we will see there. Bath B picking up a Cone penalty, but it all looks, with this, the fight for the lead at the moment, they are spread out at the moment. So all calming down for now, but I'm sure there are certainly some very good fights going on in the midfield. As we just watched Yannick Brandt sliding his way through what I like to call tower block curb corner. I don't know if they still have this. Yes, I believe they do. So, yes, he's just put in his fastest lap of the race. So Yannick Brandt certainly involved here. Could become a factor when backmarkers come into the equation. Good
move by Sam Tiernan for 6th place for Huddersfield A. He's just got past Loughborough B. Bath B have also dropped a position or 2, and they're now down in 8th. Watch out for Coventry A, of course. Reigning champions, championship leaders after round 4 at Buckmore Park about 10 days or so ago. They can wrap up the championship today. It will be a... Oh, sorry, I thought I saw Yannick Brandt in trouble there. Apologies, trick of the eyes. Coventry A can wrap up the title today if they continue the form that they've been on throughout the course of the season so far. It really is up to the likes of Oxford Brooks A, Oxford Brooks B, Loughborough A to really get in the mix and have a strong day across not just this round, round 5, but round 6 in the afternoon as well, if they're going to take the championship to Clay Pigeon.
Absolutely. My personal opinion would be I think Coventry have got this championship wrapped up. Will we see it happen today? Not entirely sure. Again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, as we've got a spinner up at Spoon Corner on the grass, the fight for the lead is intensifying once again. We've got back markers in the way. They are currently, the top 3 have passed the back markers, so Yannick Brandt will be losing time behind them now, but Rory Smith definitely back in, once again interested in the back of Sam Johns. I think he had a 7 tenths of a second gap to Rory Smith, did Sam Johns, before the back markers, but now obviously it has come down significantly.
We should remember as well, big day this for Birmingham A. First part of their season wasn't really going to plan. Number 4 seeds from last year overall in the championship, but they are your clubman class leaders. You'll see the denotation of the different classes within this BUKC Mains Championship. With today the clubman teams running with red number plates, the Premier teams running with black number plates. Smith just happy at the moment to sit behind Johns, and and work together, develop this gap over Nottingham Trent A. But Birmingham A really could do with the points today to grow even more their lead that they've currently got in the Cup class over the likes of Leeds A and Brighton A.
Rory Smith just got very interested down the inside of Spoon Corner on Sam Johns, but that's compromised him on exit, and Johns just able to escape. Rory Smith had just put in the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 1 dead, but it looks like that little look down the inside has cost Rory Smith in this battle for the moment.
As indeed. Still there in third. Coventry A, meanwhile,
yes.
6th place for them at the moment. They've just got past Huddersfield A, trying to close in now on Oxford Brooks B as traffic starts to come into play. There's number 50 Brighton B kart that's just been lapped there, and that's Alex Mitchell driving for them. There is the number 1, Sam Spinale, coming through, and that's another position. So that's Sam Spinale past Oxford Brooks B, and this is the story of the season, all the way through, all the way from qualifiers back in November at Wilton Mill. The dominance of this Coventry team, arguably the strongest BUKC squad of 4 that we've ever seen, and they're showing that again here. It's down the inside of number 23. That's a back marker. That's Kingston A, who've just been lapped. This is very, very good for Coventry A. Seemed relaxed this morning at sign-on, JJ. Oh, there's a spin there for one of the back markers, gets going again promptly. But Coventry A, challenging 37 now, don't worry, that's another car that's a lap down. They just seem very, very in control of their affairs at the moment.
I think that's what a lack of pressure will do for you. It could lead to complacency, but the fact is that Sam Spinale has once again climbed from the back of the grid. He now finds himself in 5th place. We have just under 15 minutes of this race to go, so we're not even at half distance. 5th place, and currently I think he's about 4 seconds behind Yannick Brandt in the Queen Mary A kart, as Cambridge A have just made a move on Manchester A as well. But yeah, no, the dominance of Coventry this year and their ability to climb up the field has just been quite impressive. And it could only be if Sam Spinale only finishes 4th in this race, that could end up being a drop round. That's the level they're operating on right now.
They are indeed. We're looking at Sam Turn at the moment. This is the Huddersfield A driver, the number 8, in 8th place at the moment. 1.1 seconds ahead of the number 14 of Cambridge A, winners of the previous round of the British Universities Karting Championship. It's a good victory for them in round 4. And look out for Ocean Bache as well in the black suit and black helmet. Jaws design on the side of it. He's in P10. Penalty for De Montfort A for some form of discrepancy there, and for Oxford Brooks D as well. Track limits for Oxford Brooks D and an ABC bumper pass for De Montfort. There's the Cambridge kart. Alistair Senior on our records out there at the moment, and yes, it is Alistair Senior. I can recognise that. He's got his name on the back of the suit, always helpful. Penalty for Coventry B, the number 25, for contact. That is 15th place at the moment for Coventry B, so that will be a post-race place penalty. And is that another penalty for Oxford Brooks D?
It is indeed. Oxford Brooks D picked up a...
no, I think it's the same one. It's the same one showing off. There is a new penalty though for Leeds B. The penalty's coming in thick and fast in these greasy conditions. Leeds B in kind of the same area as Coventry B at the moment, so they've got a penalty for contact as well. So let's have a look at the battles elsewhere out there on circuit as Sam Johns sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 60.675. Is that... no, sorry, apologies. Charlie Bennett is in a suit very, very similar to Yannick Brandt's in the Ludwig B car, number 6 there.
Also, we've got the 92 spun off, and Alex Turn trying to pass the 50 for in lapping, and the 50 not playing ball. So Alex Turn has been costed a lot of time here in his pursuit of the Loughborough B car. And this is all going to play in for Alistair Senior in the Cambridge A. That is keep seeing the Leeds B penalty. That is the same penalty. So they're not getting penalty off penalty off. At this point. But yeah, no, coming down to carousel is Mr. Turn. He has certainly got to keep an eye. Make sure he doesn't get caught up too much by these back marks. We just see coming through shot behind there what is Alistair Senior. So he has closed up massively thanks to that little kerfuffle between Turn and the number 50. Brighton B.
Yeah, Brighton having a decent run here, up in the top 30 at this stage of the race. Not good news for Trinity, meanwhile, from the Swansea area. They've just fallen down to 23rd place. They were up in the top 15, so they are running again. So we continue to have a look at Sam.
It was the 92. Oh, it was the 92 of Bournemouth A who was spun on the grass down by Tower Block Curb Corner, and they were definitely running firmly in the top 20. So unfortunate for the Bournemouth cart there. I think it's James Harrington who is in that cart. Meanwhile, where are we now? We're back with the fight for 8th place. No, sorry, we are a little bit further forward. I believe we are. Okay, so Coventry A are now into 4th place. Sam Spinell has overtaken Yannick Brandt on track somewhere, and he now finds himself in 4th place. He's got about a 6-second gap now to...
Sorry, there's a cone there, clipped by Yannick Brandt. So that will probably be a penalty there for Queen Mary A. The 2nd place Clubman team on the road at the moment. There it is.
Called it straight away, Andrew. So we will now see Nottingham Trent, Dante Dillon crossing the line. What's the gap to Sam Spinell? It's opened up a little bit, as I think Sam Spinell challenging Yannick Brandt on that previous lap. So, although actually live timing has told us that he's just taken half a second out of Dante Dillon's time. So I think it is very conceivable that within the next 5 minutes or so, we will see this man fighting for the podium, having again started in about 34th place.
It's a very good start for Coventry indeed. Good return from Sam Spinell. He had the curse of the onboard camera back at round 3 when he was taken out on lap 1 of his sprint race at Buckmore Park. Just keep an eye on Charlie Bennett as well, in 7th place at the moment. Love the B team, running well this season. I was about to say he'd just set the fastest lap of the race, but that's been taken away from him by Sam Johns, the leader for Trinity A. So the pace is starting to come into this Gors Park circuit.
A dry lap round here would normally be sort of a 54, 53. So we're still a good 6 seconds off the optimal pace, but it is good to see that the track is beginning to rubber in. Difficult conditions. I don't think we've really mentioned the track conditions so far, but it's greasy but not raining, so the line difficult to judge, particularly for some of these drivers who might have never been to this track before. It's going to be a very difficult circuit to work out in these type of greasy conditions. So I think it is fair play to the majority of drivers out there for keeping it more or less on the track. Just watching a little battle through turn 1 there. Not entirely sure who it was, but anyway, we cut.
Just to say, good driving there from Edward McDade in the number 74 Nottingham Trent B car, just keeping out of the way of the leaders as he's falling a lap down. There's Dante Dillon in the number 17, and battle now raging. And is that's Brandt just ahead of the Brooks B car, number 3, and Charlie Bennett closing in as well in the number 6 Luthwood B kart. So this is all going to get very tasty with a backmarker. That's McDade again, who's just going to allow those drivers through. I don't think there was really much there that Edward did wrong there. That's a bit of an unnecessary gesture from Yannick Brandt, but he is now under pressure from Angus Fender in the Oxford Brooks B kart, the number 3.
Obviously, it's worth pointing out that Angus Fender won't be aware that Yannick Brandt has a penalty. Meanwhile, a cone has just been knocked over there. Not sure who that was by. It could have been by one of the back markers, but it could have also equally been Angus Fender or the Loughborough B driver. So we'll wait to see on that one. Again, should give a shout out to the 74 driver for Nottingham Trent B. Edward McDade, fantastic back marker driving, let the leaders through and cost them very little time in the end.
Fastest lap of the race had just been put in by Sam Spinell, but again, that man, Sam Jones, at the front of the field has taken it as there's a back marker getting involved with these drivers in the top 6 here, and Brandt's run a little bit wide, and Bennett slings it up the inside. Spent contact there between Brandt and Bennett. Bennett got out on the wet stuff, spins round, and holds up Brandt. That's fallen beautifully into the hands of Angus Fender for Oxford Brooks B, so he's up into 5th place now, and I think Bennett has lost out to Huddersfield A as well, so Sam Turn, and there's here the battle for 3rd place now between Sam Spinell and Dante Dillon. The number 95 is ahead of them. That's a back marker. It's Coventry D. Will they concede position? Well, actually, no, they won't, because they'll want to try and get their A-team as far up the order as possible. I think that's exactly what's going on here. Sam Spinell may have a chance at the inside as they go through compression corner, and he's got the move done. Brilliant stuff from Sam Spinell. The 95 should now jump straight out of the way, because it's now holding up its own A-team, and no, I think the 95 is just not aware of who's behind him at the moment, and will turn over his shoulder in a moment and say, oh dear, my team leader's there, and this is still in the way. No blue flags in the BUKC, of course, and Dante Dillon's now going to get back up the inside and retake that position, so no, it wasn't good teamwork at all from the two Coventry drivers, so it's back as you were. Dante Dillon in third, Sam Spinell fourth. There's been a change for 8th place. Cambridge A have got ahead of Loughborough B, so Loughborough B's race, which was looking quite promising, starting to dissipate away. There's a Coventry B penalty out there I can see on timing for contact. So it's all happening for the Coventry teams at the moment, but
it's Alistair Gregg in the Coventry D car. Just again, classic case of just not knowing who's behind him and just racing for the sake of racing. And you can't. There are no blue flags. There's no reason for him to move out of the way. Obviously, he noticed that it was Sam Spinell right behind him coming up the Dragon Straight. So that at that point, then he moved over. But unfortunately, at the moment, it has cost. Alistair has cost Sam in his pursuit of the top two, who it would appear, with just over 5 minutes to go, have checked out of this race. But anyway, now coming on to the Dragon Straight, it's still Dante Dillon leading for third place over Sam Spinell, but Sam Spinell getting definitely interested coming up towards Spoon Corner. They head through what is the second corner on this track. Is he got opportunity to send it down the inside? No, he has not, but we're now seeing another back marker getting in the way. This should be the Trinity B cart. Yes, it is indeed. So we'll see how back markers play in here. The Trinity B cart running wide, so that should be a simple case of down the inside, and that's the place done. But now Sam Spinell coming into compression corner. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to be able to do what he did on the previous lap to Yannick Brandt. No, not quite. So he stays behind Dante Dillon for the moment. Brilliant driving, has to be said, from Dante Dillon. We'll praise Sam Spinell all the way along, as there is a cone penalty for Huddersfield A. Now that is significant because it will bring in, I believe that is a 6th place penalty.
7th place at the moment.
Seventh place, sorry. But yes, that will drop them at least behind Cambridge A and possibly behind Loughborough B as well, depending on what Loughborough B can do in their recovery after that incident with Yannick Brandt.
Dante Dillon making a little gesture there to Sam Spinell. I think he wants to work with Sam Spinell, but that is not going to be an instruction that Sam Spinell's going to pay any attention to at all. Down the inside into Spoon Corner. Very nice move by one of the most experienced drivers in the BUKC. Hasn't always raced for Coventry A, of course. Raced for the University of Hertfordshire for many, many years. But Spinell putting all of that experience to good use here. He's into the top 3.
Brilliant little bit of driving there. Reminded me of Jenson Button versus Sebastian Buemi in Interlagos in 2009. Just got a little bit of wheel, just kicked out the rear end a bit. Told Dante Dillon, there is no way you're coming back past me. And Sam Spinell has now got a very decent has got a little gap now to Dante Dillon. So that should be third place secured for the Coventry driver. Again, starting from P34, running a bit wide over the curves there, but as does Dante Dillon as well. But yes, fantastic little battle between Spinell and Dillon. They've got some back markers they're coming up to now, so that could still play a factor in the final few minutes of this race.
Bit of a gap up to the top 2, by the way, over 10 seconds between second and third. One of the drivers is Club 100 test car. That's the one you just see getting out of the way there. Sam Dimolo currently driving that one. The number 19 just ahead of them. So now is this a battle for position? Yes, it is. This I think is number 50. Sorry, it's not a battle for position.
No.
It's Brighton B, the number 50, and the number 19 of Oxford Brooks D. Cone penalty for Exeter B, but nothing unfortunately a good way out of this race down in 27th. Sam Spinell snaking his way through there, left and right. Brilliant stuff once again from the Leaning Tower of Coventry, as we now call him. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. When the clock expires, the next time the leaders go across start-finish will be the end of the race. No added laps here. Bit of pressure, though, still coming on the leader. 59.460 for Sam Johns, and Rory Smith is still there. He's just got into the 59s himself, 59.647. This is a good, solid drive, yet again, from Birmingham's top driver in race 1.
They're just coming up to lap Manchester Met. Sorry, they've lapped Manchester Met. It's Warwick A. They're coming up to lap now. not used to saying that. Who is in the Warwick A kart? It is Sam Stevens. So Sam Stevens currently running in 15th place, about to be lapped by Sam Johns, and all this traffic is going to feed into Rory Smith. He will be able to sniff an opportunity as Sam Johns just goes down the inside there of Sam Stevens. Watch the gap. The gap has actually extended, so it looks like Sam Johns getting the better rub of the green when it comes to these back marker drivers. He's just going to now go down the inside of that should be the De Montfort A driver to all intents and purposes, but I think it is. I think it might be Brighton B again. No, it's the
Warwick
60.
C.
It's Warwick C. There, so a car that is well down in 30th place.
So an interesting thing that I've noticed from this first race is there's a move. Huddersfield A have dropped 3 positions but are still circulating. They lost about 9 seconds on that last lap. Quite a bit of field spread in this first race. Now, yes, the conditions will be playing into it, but this isn't a circuit that we come to as regularly as, say, a Buckmore Park or a Wilton Mill. Clear from this first race that there's a few drivers that are definitely finding their way around this Gors circuit first thing this morning.
Yes, absolutely. Last time we came here, I was only in my second year of university, so we've got to go years back for when that was, and it was a lovely day that day, and hopefully the sun will be shining properly. Hopefully at some point this day, because this is a truly fantastic circuit. Not just the circuit itself, but the scenery around here is fantastic. On a good day, you can see Mount Snowdon off to the left, and it really is just it's lovely to come back here. And if it was up to me, I'd say we'd come here every year, but it's not up to me.
We are on the last lap then. Sam Johns, can he start the day with a home victory for one of the Welsh universities here? The one time of the year that the BUKC crosses the border. Can he tame the dragon that is? He's got a lot of traffic ahead of him though, as he's going to come down through Compression Corner and Devil's Elbow for the last time. He's just got to be careful here, doesn't want to pick up a penalty for any silliness. There is Rory Smith. Rory Smith has got Johnny Knight ahead of him in the De Montfort A kart, but down through the last couple of corners. Still a lot of traffic here for Sam Johns to deal with, but I think he's going to be safe. Round the final corner, Sam Johns takes the first win of the day for Trinity A, just ahead of Rory Smith, who takes honours for Birmingham in Clubman. Third place should be Sam Spinell with a wondrous drive for Coventry A here across the line. There for third place, fantastic start to the day for the championship leaders. Dante Dillon in fourth for Nottingham Trent A. Angus Fender, solid drive there, P5 for Oxford Brooks B. Yannick Brandt was sixth across the line but has a penalty. Alistair Senior seventh for Cambridge A. Eighth, Loughborough B's Charlie Bennett. Missed opportunity there. Sam Turn there in ninth, just ahead of Ocean Beach by 0.1 of a second. That was your top 10. It'll be Bath B across the line in 11th, number 53. There they are across the line. Good drive there from the Bath B driver.
Also just wait.
Which was Joe Davison, started third, so good points for them.
Just waiting on Coventry B and Leeds B as the final carts across the line should be coming any moment now. There goes Coventry B. And there go, where, Leeds B? Leeds B, are you there? Maybe, we don't know. We'll
got lost out there.
They were getting lapped literally across the line,
yeah.
So maybe there was. But either way, they come through to finish in 13th place, and then it's De Montfort A and Warwick A rounding out your top 15.
A very solid race there from all the drivers out there in tricky conditions. Grid now forming up. There's a shake of hands between Rory Smith and Sam Johns after that battle.
It's what you love to see in the modern game.
And we should hopefully be able to pass down to Jacob Harris on the grid in a few moments' time. We'll just wait for him to get ready down there as the rest of the drivers come in.
Obviously, should point out that all results that we have read out are currently provisional. We need to wait for the official results to come out on alphatiming.results.
Yeah, results.alphatiming.co.uk/BUKC/2020. If you've got a second screen or a tablet or on your phone, do make sure you use that resource to track things as the day goes on. And silence falls over Gors Park. I should also say we didn't get a chance to say Borodar. Borodar. We are in Wales after all. Good morning, everybody.
Yes, Borodar. Rydywyn Hoffi Coffee.
Ah, you've lost me now. You've completely lost me there.
Croesu Icomru. Prifysgol.
We should explain the man stood to my left is not a native of the Wales.
Absolutely not.
But did go to Swansea University. You can see Mr. Jacob Harris down there, and I think we are ready to go down to him. I think he's got the winner, Sam Johns, from race number 1. Over to you, Mr. Harris.
Here we go. Welcome down to grid. We're here with race winner Sam Johns. Sam, a Welshman winning our first race in Wales.
I love it. It's the first win of BUKC for me, and to win at home is it's a nice feeling. Landau would have been better, but GYG is just as good. Scenery is amazing, and I just love this track, to be honest with you.
Tell us a bit about the track, because we haven't had a pre-race chat at all, and it's our first time here on the live stream.
Slippery. It's very slippery, but it does dry out quite quick. It's a very fun track. You got the very fast straight by ear, and then come down the hill through the complex, and it's very fun. My favourite track in the UK, personally, and I hope we stay here, to be honest. I love it.
And with regards to your team, mixed fortunes this year for UWTSD, yourself and Harry Final, usually in and amongst the front runners. What's happening?
I don't know, I think we're just a bit inconsistent this year. Last year was very good. We were in the top 10 all year until the final round, where we had a little bit of a bottle, but hoping this brings our momentum back up and we're going to aim for the top 10 this year again, so fingers crossed.
Brilliant. Sam, congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Sam Johns there, University of Wales, Trinity St David. Right then, race number 2 is our first heavyweight race of the day. We are currently waiting on the pole sitter to come and sit in his cart. So let's go talk to Mr. Smith, lined up in second place. Bournemouth, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Where's your number plate?
It's coming somewhere there.
Okay. You need a number plate and transponder to make sure we know where you are on the track. A bit of lead for yourself as well to lead up for this heavyweight, is it?
Heavyweight, I need a bit of lead on too.
Do you not got any heavy drivers in your team?
Not really. It's a bit of a struggle.
Is that weight going to cost you going up this hill, do you reckon?
No, I don't think so, because everyone's going to be in the same weight, so should be fine.
And what are your hopes for this race? Bournemouth have had a good first season in the BUKC so far. Is that going to continue today?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, just sort of keep it clean in the first couple of laps and then sort of get into a bit of rhythm and hope for a good result, really. Yeah.
Are you concerned about conditions at all? It is still quite damp out here on track.
It looks really greasy, to be honest. But I'll just have to see what it feels like when we get out there.
Brilliant. Thanks for talking to us. We're going to move on and see who else we can find. The Warwick team have arrived with their number plate at least, but not their driver. I can see him coming down the paddock here. Matthew Graham is in third place. Matthew.
Hello.
Have you been practicing, or have you just been video editing the whole time since Buckmore?
Yeah, you know, I had to substitute some of the track watching time for a bit of video editing, but I think it was worth it in the end, so yeah.
Have you got any more plans for video releases in the near future?
I think we'll wait for a bit of content, maybe, you know, we'll see how we can do, and yeah, just keep your eye on the page, maybe.
Is there any danger of you splitting your videos up into separate parts? You're going to continue to do 2 videos at once?
Yeah, I might split them up, you know. People don't really want to watch 3 minutes of people crashing, I guess, so...
It always confuses me when you have kind of the one video for a minute or two and then you kind of go into the introduction for the next one without cutting the file up.
Yeah, well, you know, just keeping some fresh approaches to the meme game, so got to put your own unique style on it, I guess, so yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add whilst you're on the live stream?
Make Formula Brooks great again. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
On pole position and getting a little talk about conditions of the track, it's my good friend Ben Street. Ben, how are you?
How we doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate, not bad.
Where have you been? You missed Buckmore.
Yeah, it's just too far for me to go. I just didn't fancy the drive down the M6.
It was really fun.
Was it?
Yeah, you missed out.
It looked soaking wet.
In the afternoon, yeah. Morning was dry, though.
Was it?
Yeah, we had 1 round in the dry, 1 round in the wet. Mix it up a little bit, get your money's worth.
Ooh, that's good, isn't it? Excellent.
We might have the same here today, although it's a little bit greasy, so I guess you're just being told.
Yeah, it's kind of dry, but it's slippy. So it's not raining, which is nice, but it's going to give some good chances for some good action, some good overtaking. So it should be good.
As you say, it's not raining. There are spots appearing on your visor. Would you rather it rained or not rained?
I'd rather it stay dry, but with a wet track. It's normally quite a fun track to drive in those sort of conditions, so yeah.
All right then, and first heavyweight race of the day, we've got a few heavyweight names. We've got Kyle Morby of Oxford Brookes, Tom Thickpenny of Loughborough, Tom Fox of Coventry. Anyone you're particularly worried about?
Not really, just myself, I think, mate. Not take myself out, just keep it clean, don't get penalties, and just keep it on the dry stuff. Well, the moist stuff.
Like to hear it. Ben, thanks for talking to us. Let's wander further down the grid and see if we can pick out some of those names. Tom Thickpenny doesn't like to talk to us before a race, so I'll leave him out for now. But Kyle Morby's coming up on the left-hand side. I'm going to jump in on his side pod here. Kyle. Hello. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's not been that long since I spoke to you, really, since I spoke to you at the end of the day at Buckmore, is it?
Oh, it's been a bit too long. I need to see you daily. I get withdrawal symptoms.
I'm a medicine type guy. You just need me in small doses, I think.
Oh no. No.
Well, it's moist again.
We love it when it's moist.
We do love it when it's moist. It's very similar conditions to, well, I say very similar. It's a bit more damp at Buckmore. It's a bit less moist, but still favourable conditions for yourself?
Yeah, it'll be alright. I think Glan Gors is a bit of a weird one though. It's still grippier than anywhere else when it's wet, so we'll see what happens. It'll be fun, I guess.
I've just spoke to Matthew Graham at the front of the grid, who said, hashtag make Formula Brooks great again. Any comment?
Oh, I'll just swipe him off. Basically, is what's going to happen there.
I believe whilst I'm wearing this jacket, I'm supposed to tell you not to do that. But
you want to see it, though, don't you?
No comment. Have a lovely race, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
Kyle Morby of Oxford Brookes. Let's grab one or two more interviews. We'll get Tom Fox of reigning champions Coventry. Jimbo about to blow the whistle. You don't want to do that straight in the microphone. Tom, real quick, because I think they're about to blow the whistle. Great opening race from Sam Spinell for you guys. Can you match that?
I don't care. Do you see that race from Sam? It was brilliant. The pressure's off me, but I'm going to go for it anyway, so let's see what happens.
Tom Fox there of reigning champions Coventry. He's just going to go for it, apparently. A few more drivers I'd love to speak to, but I had to talk to them at the end. Now it's back to the commentary box. Andrew Mather and James Johnson.
Welcome back, everybody, to live coverage. Well, live commentary, I should say, because the coverage hasn't gone anywhere, of the British Universities Karting Championship here at Glan Gors Park in North Wales, just up the road from Betsy Coed. Very lovely part of the world. That looks like a bit of rain on that camera at the top of the hill. But this is race number 2 of round 5, the first appearance of the day of our heavyweights. So the regulations change for this one. The weight limit, the minimum weight limit goes up from 75 kilos to 82, he says with a lot of confidence. 80-something. Big boys out there on circuit now. And they should enjoy these greasy conditions, James, be able to throw their weight around a little bit more to find the grip. But key race this, as let's go through the grid for this first heavyweights race of the day. Whilst the drivers are doing their forming up and their warming up. For the grid graphic to pop up. Here we go, here it is. So round 5 of the Championship Premier Class Race 2. Ben Street starts on pole position for Warwick A. Alongside him on the front row is Jason Smith for Bournemouth A. Row 2, Matthew Graham. Is he the new meme king of the BUKC? Well, maybe. Oxford Brookes would probably say not. But he starts on the second row for UEA alongside Tom Obi for Aston A. Row 3, Jack Hodges goes for Huddersfield A, Nathan Phillips for Birmingham B. Row 4, Christian Bessel goes for De Montfort B, and Julio Peroni goes for Loughborough B. Row 5, Adam Kernis starts this one for Leeds B. Owen Byatt goes for Nottingham Trent A, who had a good, strong result from the first race. Key race this for Oxford Brookes A. They've put their most experienced driver in. Kyle Morby starts 11th alongside João Maria Jorge for Bath B on row 6. Row 7, Callum Barnett likes these conditions, won a race in similar style at Three Sisters last season. He starts 13th for Sheffield A. Ben Hinchcliffe goes for Huddersfield B alongside him on row 7. Row 8, George Salthouse starts for Loughborough C. Bradley Caps Jenner in for Manchester Metropolitan. Tom Thickpenny made his name here 3 years ago when he stepped up to the Loughborough A team and has not looked back since. He starts P17 alongside Chris Miles for the Warwick B team. Row 10 wrapping out the top 20. Stratton Hibbs starts for Oxford. Robert Dakin for Warwick C. Row 11, Tom Fox, key race this for Coventry A. Can they continue this progress to the title? They start 21st in this one alongside Stephen Howes for Brighton A there on row 11. Tom Dent, the eldest statesman of the BUKC, I think it's fair to say this season, goes for Leeds A in this one on row 12 alongside Brad Butcher for Oxford Brookes C. Moving on through the rest of the field into the second half, Birmingham C, mostly ineligible for all of today, so we'll disregard them. Mark Cuthbert starts P26 for De Montfort A. Josh Craft starts for Exeter A and on all Exeter row, actually. Jensen Brown alongside him, his teammate there, 28th on the grid for Exeter B. My boy, my Lithuanian boy, the big boy, Matas Grigolauskas starts P29 for Coventry B. Sam Cornwell alongside him there on row 15. And your boy,
my boy,
your boy, Jeremy
Jezza.
Todd. Jezza starts P31 for Swansea A. Loughborough D ineligible all day. They are effectively a ghost cart. Back of the grid is Adam Fleming, 33rd on the grid. That's your grid there for race 2 here at Glan Gors as the rain. Is that rain or is that just mist forming in here?
I think based on this Litchfield boy we have in front of us, there are a number of hoods popped up on the P-band, and I can see, I think that is rain falling for the start of this race. So hopefully we will be going around this when we come round to the next past the finish line. Although it has to be said there is a driver just making his way out of the pits heading up towards Spoon Corner. Whilst we are here, I do have to issue an apology to João Maria Jorge. Apologies for my uncultured commentator here not pronouncing the name correctly.
Well, I just did it wrong as well.
There we go. João Maria Jorge.
If we are pronouncing your names
as a
wrongly,
linguist,
do come tell us.
Yes. And if I've just pronounced that incorrectly, then please do come and shout at me for being too big for my boots as the linguist in these parts.
See, I'm from the north. I automatically have a bit of a free pass on that one. Never mind. Ben Street then, understated man. Oh, hello, Carl Morby on pole position, but Jason Smith alongside him. Matthew Graham there, who's had a fantastic season on the track as well as off the track so far in the BUKC this year. Raced fantastically at PF International during the first meeting of this season. Here we go then. Race 2 here at Glan Gors for round 5 of the BUKC 2020. Ben Street on pole position, Jason Smith alongside on the front row. Brilliant start, pole side of the grid. Graham gets into P2 straight away, and I think Jack Hodges has fallen or gone through as well into third. Tom Dent is on the grass there as they're going up the Dragon Straight to Spoon Corner for the first time. And here comes the number 40, Christian Bessel. Great start for the De Montfort B drivers. They all form up the hill. Challenge for the lead. Matthew Graham tries to have a move there on Ben Street, but I don't think he pulled it off as they come down the hill now, deep down the hill into Carousel Corner. How's the grip through Carousel Corner? Not bad. Everybody squirming through. The number 44 of Bradley Caps, Jenner, in the blue suit there, has had a very good start for Manchester Metropolitan as they go into Compression Corner. Still Ben Street leading from Matthew Graham. And I think it is the number 8 that's got up to third place. Yes, it is. Jack Hodges has had a really solid start there. Huddersfield A, no Stephen Letts today. So who's going to carry the team today? Is it going to be Hodges? We've already seen Sam Turner have a very good race in race number 1. Tom Fox is on the move. Tom Thickpenny's on the move as well there. Just saw him in the number 2 for Loughborough A. But round to finish lap 1, it's Warwick A leading from UEA, Huddersfield A, Bournemouth A down to 4th, De Montfort B 5th, Aston A, Manchester Met, Oxford Brookes A, Sheffield A, Coventry A up 13 places at the start. That is just what the championship leaders want. That is a fantastic first lap from the fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox indeed. We had a couple of drivers off on that first lap through Spoon and coming down towards Carousel. There's a lovely little track where the driver tried to keep it going on the grass but eventually had to come grinding to a halt. Meanwhile, Matthew Graham, again, we'll concentrate on the racing with Matthew Graham today, but he is firmly interested in the back of Ben Street in that Warwick A car. A little bit is Ben Street getting a little bit of a gap coming through Compression Corner and into the second part, whose name I have briefly forgotten, but we will now see where Matthew Graham, can he get a good slingshot coming now round to the end of this lap. He's on the outside line through Tower Block Curb Corner. Is he going to try and send it round the outside?
No
he
way.
is. No, he has it. He's got it done. Fantastic move there from Matthew Graham, and this is going to allow the number 8 of Jack Hodges to try and have a go at Jack Street. But fantastic move round the inside, around the outside even, of of Ben Street, as De Montfort A have picked up an ABC bump and pass penalty, so that will be at least 4 positions. Ben Street coming back now at Matthew Graham, but he's just been unable to do it, and that might compromise him coming down towards Carousel Corner. Jack Hodges just interested in this as well. Matthew Graham going to the extreme outside for the carousel, and that looks to have just about worked for him. Differing lines appearing, rain firmly on the camera just as they head through compression. As Oxford Brooks A have picked up a penalty. We'll wait to see what that's for. That's an ABC BAP, and that is the last thing they needed if they are to try and stop Coventry from potentially winning the championship this time around. We'll wait to see where Coventry and Sheffield A have got a penalty as well. So there's penalties aplenty. There's a lot of bump and passes going on. So we've got an ABC BAP for Sheffield A, De Montfort A, and Oxford Brooks A. Watching them across the line. Coventry A have fallen down the order. So that amazing start for Tom Fox has just been curtailed slightly. He's fallen down to 14th place. As we've got, I think Bournemouth A and Loughborough A are in a big fight with each other. This could be the battle we're looking at, and there we go. So Loughborough A, Tom Thickpenny now in front of Jason Smith in the Bournemouth car. Bournemouth obviously new team to the championship this year, doing brilliantly so far, keeping in the top 10, but Tom Thickpenny in the sunset helmet has now overtaken Jason Smith, and now it is Manchester Met A interested in the back of Bournemouth as well, coming now through the S's section of this track. Jason Smith hanging on in there at the moment, but the Manchester Met A driver being piloted by Bradley Caps Jenner. So Bradley very much interested in the back of Jason. Here's the Montfort B now have a penalty, but they are in 13th. So a lot of contact going on during this race. Penalties are plenty, as now Bradley Caps Jenner down the inside of Jason Smith into turn 2, heading now into Spoon Corner. We've got the 18 of Sheffield A who have got a penalty themselves. They are interested in the back of Jason Smith. So heading down towards Carousel Corner, Jason Smith trying to defend from the Sheffield A driver with Bradley Caps Jenner now pulling away slightly on exit, but it looks like he might have got a bit of a poor exit, but someone else who's got a poor exit is Jason Smith, and Sheffield A now in front of Jason Smith heading into compression.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Callum Barnett. We mentioned during the grid form-up that he does like these conditions. Took a fantastic victory at Three Sisters about 12 months ago in the 2019 edition of the BUKC. And the big boys are throwing the weight around, aren't they, with a couple of penalties out there. Fastest lap of the race has just been set by Kyle Morby, a 60.801. So the pace has gone down from what we saw in race number 1. Black flag for Christian Bessel. So obviously it was a takeout, so a takeout penalty there. And Christian Bessel will have to come into the pits and have a little discussion, as I like to say, with the race officials. Hard-working marshals there, keeping warm here, because, as we say, we are under the shadow almost of Mount Snowdon. You get some inclement weather around here and the wind whipping across the circuit.
To point out, Gino Peroni in the Loughborough B car had a terrible start, falling from 8th all the way down towards the back of the grid, but he's making his way back through the grid now, making 3 positions on that last lap. But now we've got Tom Fox down the inside of who was that? That was Exeter B. So Tom Fox, who had a brilliant start, got a little bit curtailed on the next lap. So we now also have a move for 3rd place. Oxford Brooks A, Carl Morby now in front of Huddersfield A, as the Sheffield A driver now down the inside of Bradley Caps Jenner in a move for. That would be, I believe that would be for about 6th place, or yes. So Sheffield A now up to 6th, but remember they have an ABC bump and pass penalty, as do Oxford Brooks. So at the moment, whilst Oxford Brooks now currently in 3rd place, they are dropping down to at least 7th for the moment.
Should mention as well, it was the Exeter B car, Jensen Brown driving for them at the moment. Key role for them today is helping out the Exeter A team, who are still in the mix, as there's a black flag for Oxford Brooks C, which we'll come on to in a minute. Exeter A, 3rd place in the championship coming in today. They are in this race. They're currently down in 17th in the field, which is not really where they want to be, but they're one of those teams that have to step up today, JJ, if anyone's going to stop Coventry from taking this title and wrapping it up here today in Wales?
Part of me thinks that might not be possible. Coventry, Tom Fox now behind his old team of Aston, heading into we're now starting lap 7. So there's confirmation that as Tom Fox has now overtaken the Aston A driver, that is Tom Obi, who's a very experienced driver, former teammate. So I doubt there'd have been too much in the way of battling between them, or whether it depends on what Tom Obi's mindset was saying at that moment in time. Look out for the corner from as what's going on now.
Number 11 is in. I thought for a moment that the black flag had been rescinded, but the number 11 of Oxford Brook C is into the pits and effectively out of this race now, down in 31st. Discussion going on there down in pit lane. They are going again, but that's a bitter blow there for Oxford Brook C. Currently 10th in the championship, not what they want to be having here in the first heavyweight race of the day.
Oxford Brooks A have moved up to second place somewhere on track. We will hopefully be able to pick that up. And there we go. So they have overtaken Ben Street.
And look what we've got coming here. We've got Matthew Graham fighting potentially the next couple of laps because Carl Morby's a second a lap quicker at the moment than Matthew Graham. So there's been a bit of back and forth, if you're not aware. All good banter and all of that between the Oxford Brooks team and in particular Mr. Graham. Online on the Facebook groups, and this could get very interesting in the next 4 or 5 laps if Morby continues to pull in at that pace. There was a quick shot of Mark Cuthbert. He's made some good progress. He's up to 16th, effectively 15th when you take the Birmingham C cart out of the picture because they're ineligible. There's the number 11 you just saw back up and running. It's Brad Butcher at the wheel for them at the moment. Callum Barnett, here he is for Sheffield A. In a nice position at the moment. He's 6th place. He's 6.5 seconds behind Tom Thickpenny, who you just saw there. Oh, I think Tom Thickpenny's got ahead of Jack Hodges. Yes, so that's a position there for Loughborough A. So Loughborough A now up to P4. But Callum Barnett in a bit of no man's land, but could just get his head down now, put some good laps in, and this race can come back to him. There's still a long way to go, 15 minutes on the clock.
Should be pointed out that Oxford Brooks A just took another second out of Matthew Graham's time, so you could say that Carl Morby is firmly living inside Matthew Graham's head at the moment as we head into, we've just got over 15 minutes left of this race, so you can imagine Carl Morby will be onto the back of Matthew Graham in the next couple of laps. Another black flag in this race, a lot of black flags, a lot of penalties going on at the moment. It's not what we like to see, but unfortunately these things do happen. Christian Bessel getting the Montfort A driver getting another contact warning, as do Nottingham Trent A. Still following.
Nottingham Trent A has been converted into a penalty now for Owen Byatt. There's a yellow flag you can see just out the window coming down through compression corner. We may see that in a moment. There's Carl Morby, and look at this now. Matthew Graham's being ganged up on by multiple Oxford Brooks carts here. The meme cannon has arrived. Prepare yourself. This could get very, very tasty in the next couple of seconds. Can Carl Morby get through? Carl Morby's let through by his teammate, but Brad Butcher has done a brilliant bit of teamwork there to hold up Matthew Graham. There's Stephen Howes, the number 22 Brighton A driver, gets out of the way. And Morby sends it down the inside, side by side, through Carousel Corner. What an overtake that was from Carl Morby. The sun shines down on Brooks in this race as Carl Morby once again here in the BUKC is in the lead.
I can just hear the social media cannon firing up, ready for another rendition of Brooks versus Uwe. Obviously, we've mentioned it a few times, but Brooks do have a 4-place penalty, so at the moment,
you make a good point.
Matthew Graham is still your de facto leader, but I don't think that will really matter to the Brooks driver. He's overtaken Matthew Graham on track, and I think the whole of the Oxford Brooks team just let out a little cheer as redemption happens. And as I will say again, racing for Uwe tomorrow is going to be very interesting.
I think you've put a bit of a target on your back, mate, by making that decision. 30 minutes to go. Can Carl Morby race away now? I mean, as I say, he has got a penalty, so he's not going to take the 60 points. But, well, if you can't win the race, the best thing to do is, well, if you've got a penalty, sorry, I just got distracted by a spinner outside our window here in the commentary box. You know, if you are in this situation where you know you've got a penalty, get yourself at the front, maximise the points. Best form of damage limitation. I mean, that would give him 56 points for a 5th place finish, which is still a useful amount
But
at this stage of the day.
Importantly, it would be a worse result than what Coventry achieved in the first race. At the moment, as Carmel just set a 59.7, so lap times back to where they were at the end of the last race. But at the moment, as we have Tom Thickpenny has overtaken Ben Street out on track on that lap. So Tom Thickpenny up into third place. And it will now be interesting to see, as we've just passed the halfway point of this race, can Tom Thickpenny get onto the back of Matthew Graham in what would be the fight for the win of this race?
Would be indeed. Contact warning for Newcastle B. Penalty for Exeter A. This is not a good race for Exeter A. This is not what they need at this stage of the day. It's a track limits penalty as well. There are a couple of places, believe it or not, where the track limit penalties come into play. I mean, you see lots of lush green Welsh grass surrounding the circuit, which is very nice, but there's a couple of points where there's some big curbs, especially coming out of turn 1 and coming out of the last corner as well, where the drivers have been told don't go near them, more for protecting the karts more than anything. But yeah, penalty there for Exeter A for exceeding those track limits. There's Tom Thickpenny, number 2 kart, driver of the year last year in the BUKC. What's his pace like? Pretty even with Matthew Graham. There was less than a tenth of a second in terms of pace between them last time around. The number 32 kart is Birmingham B's kart, which has had a black flag, so is a back marker. Driving for Birmingham B at the moment is Nathan Phillips. That's a real shame for Birmingham B because they were 6th on the grid. It's lost an opportunity there to get some good points. Tom Thickpenny down the inside. The back marker continues on his way. 11 minutes to go. Can he catch Matthew Graham for what would be the 60 points and the win in this race once Carl Morby's penalty has been served? Who else is on the move? Bath A having a good race, JJ. From 30th on the grid, Samuel Cornwell is now up into the top 10. It'd be great to get a shot of the number 31. It's just got past Bournemouth A. Have a look at Ben Street there, still doing some good work there for Warwick.
Bath A, one of those teams in the Championship, slipping very much under the radar, but I think they're having an absolutely fantastic season, firmly in the top 10 of the Championship. Obviously, they finished 31st last year, so to be in the position they are, Premier team, fighting well in the Championship, making good progress through the field. Very good work from the Bath A team.
And they're right up behind Exeter B, just heading up the Dragon Straight now, up to Spoon Corner. It'd be great to get a look at this as they're going into Spoon.
Keeping an eye on Jack Street at the moment. He is currently falling behind. He's 2 seconds behind Tom Thickpenny now. We'll keep you posted as best we can on the battle between Bath A and Exeter B, as Oxford on the move as well. As Carl Morby now setting a 59.6, so the times still coming down, but just not coming down as much as we thought. As Tom Thickpenny now sets the fastest lap of the race, he goes 1.3 seconds faster than Matthew Graham. The gap now down to less than 3 seconds. So we will be able to, hopefully we'll have a fight for you between second and third place. Tom Thickpenny just picking up some traffic as well, as Bath A have overtaken Exeter B now, and Coventry B also getting in on the race. I believe that's your guy, Matas, your boy from Lithuania, as we just see Tom Fox going through shot there. Hopefully we're going to be picking up the Bath A fight there. So there we go. There is Bath A, Exeter, Coventry B and Exeter B. So Exeter B have fallen away slightly, although unfortunately we do now just pick back up with Jack Street, looking for the battle between what is ninth place.
So Coventry B ahead of the number 31 of Bath A now. Let's stick with this battle because this is the best one out on circuit. Jensen Brown there, number 37 for Exeter B, just trying to hold on at the moment. So Matas has got back past Cornwell somewhere out there on circuit. Nice drift there from Stephen Howes, giving it the full Tokyo. Coventry A still running well, up to 7th place. This, again, good points. They don't need to attack today for me, James, because they've got a lot of points in hand. You know, especially if you've got the likes of Oxford BUKC getting penalties here and there. Exeter A not performing particularly well at the moment. They may not even need to do the double win for round 5 and round 6 and still take the championship here away from Glan Gors.
I know it's everything has just fallen into Coventry's hands so far. Tom Fox giving it a little bit of the Sam Spinell there through Carousel, the half-leaning tower of Coventry, I think we should call. We'll stick with Fantastic Mr. Fox, but he is gaining on the Sheffield A driver of Callum Barnett. As actually Matthew, so in the battle for second place, they've just exchanged fastest laps. Tom Thickpenny going 6/10 faster than Matthew Graham.
Big things happening out on circuit. Tom Fox right on the tail of Callum Barnett now, but also we'll try and capture it as Fox is going to be up the inside there. There was somebody off the 2 drivers left that took Fox's chance away from him, but Tom Thickpenny has come alive here. He's just put a 59.066 in. It's 6/10 of a second quicker than UEA's driver Matthew Graham last time around, and also quicker than Carl Morby. This is starting to heat up with 7 minutes to go. Fox goes down the inside of Stephen Howes in the Brighton A car, who is a lap down. The number 8, the pulling in Jack Hodges as well. Huddersfield A are being pulled in, so we're going to have a 3-way scrap for 5th place here as Barnett's compromised by, and brilliant stuff there from Thomas Fox. He's going to take them both. Oh, that is wonderful stuff from Coventry A, taking the opportunity. It's the number 32, I think, of Birmingham B who bulked the Huddersfield A driver Jack Hodges there, and Tom Fox went, right, I'm having this, straight up the inside and up to 5th place.
Boosh, eat that, stick it in, good night from Fantastic Mr. Fox. Brilliant racing there, 2 into 1. Absolutely fantastic stuff. He moves up into 5th place. Meanwhile, in the battle for second place, I was watching it out the window as that fight was taking place. Tom Thickpenny getting properly close now to the back of Matthew Graham. They've got 2 back markers in the way. Cone penalty Nottingham Trent A, but it looks like we've got the Swansea A driver of Jeremy Todd down in 23rd. So it's Swansea A and Bath B now who are going to determine this battle for second place. Surely Tom Thickpenny is going to get onto the back of Matthew Graham very soon. We've got, I think, we've got Matthew Graham, he's just got past the Swansea A driver. We'll look for it there.
Need to have a look at the second place battle, because Tom Thickpenny is now less than a second behind UEA's Matthew Graham, and they are also catching, they are also catching Oxford Brooks A's Carl Morby. The number 36 is the driver in the middle there. That's Jeremy Todd for Swansea A, who gratefully gets out of Tom Thickpenny's way. But this is where Tom Thickpenny comes into his own. He has races like this. He's always strong, but then there's sometimes where he just clicks into that extra gear. And very similar to what he did 3 years ago. The last time we were here for a BUKC mains round in 2017, where a couple of A drivers at the time weren't around, Tom Thickpenny had to step up from the Loughborough B team and was probably their best driver of the day as Loughborough went on to win the championship that year. And here he is showing the full talents, the full abilities, really on the charge now, and the gap, James, is 0.7 of a second. 0.7
of a second between the two. Again, if you've just joined us, remember this is the battle for the lead of this race. Carl Morby might be leading, but he has a 4-place penalty. Got a spinner up at the top of Spoon.
Ooh,
that's not a nice place to spin. And so Matthew Graham now getting held up by this back mark. We don't know who it is at the moment. This is allowing Tom Thickpenny to get up close. Has to be said though, Andrew, or as the back marker is still in the way, so Matthew Graham not able to get that car between himself and Tom Thickpenny. This is surely going to offer Tom Thickpenny an opportunity coming into compression. It's the 53 of Bath B who have got in the way. Matthew Graham now going to send down the inside. He could really do with Bath B interfering Tom Thickpenny, and that is exactly what's happened. The Bath B driver trying to fight around the outside. Again, no blue flags, but Tom Thickpenny finally gets the move done. So Matthew Graham was compromised coming out of Carousel, but Tom Thickpenny compromised through the S's section, and this all means that the gap opens up to 1.3 seconds between Matthew Graham and Tom Thickpenny. So at the moment, with just over 3 minutes left of this race, Matthew Graham set to be the race winner.
Just to let you know, Mark Cuthbert continues his good drive through the field. He's just got past Bournemouth A's Jason Smith for 13th place.
Coventry A look nailed on for 5th place as well. They are 10 seconds behind Ben Street in the Warwick A car, but obviously should point out that they will be the last benefitter of the Carl Morby penalty, so they will climb up to 4th place. So again, from what was it, 20th on the grid to 21st on the grid, sorry, to 4th place. Should it all stay like this.
And the thing with Coventry A's grid draw, just for the benefit of anyone who's not watched this form of racing before, the grids are all random. Each team races 4 times across each round and pretty much has the same average grid position. The new fastest lap of the race has just gone in from Carl Morby,
so
58.439.
Sorry, Andrew, it should be pointed out that Matthew Graham did put in a 58.5, so he's lapping quicker than Tom Fickpenny at this stage, but they are coming up to a large gaggle of backmarker karts, where I think this should be Loughborough C, Loughborough B are the next karts he should be overtaking. In fact, we'll just wait for confirmation. Yep, there it is. So can Loughborough C do for Tom Fickpenny what Coventry D did for Sam Spinell last time out and help them in their quest to gain a further position? And obviously in this case it will be the race win. At the moment, that is exactly what has happened. As I could have sworn I just saw Tom Fickpenny looking down the inside of Matthew Graham. He's now trying to try a few different lines through the S's. Is he going to send it down the inside? Yes, he is. Tom Fickpenny inherits second place, and that is the race win at the moment. But Matthew Graham right up him, but it's not going to happen so far. So Loughborough C have helped Loughborough A in winning this race at the moment, but they've still got to get past them. In just 1 minute 20 seconds left of this race, and now Tom Fickpenny down the inside of the Loughborough C driver. Matthew Graham, is he going to be able to get past at this occasion? Yes, he is. It's the 60 of Warwick. No, he's not actually. He's not. So Loughborough C done absolute bits for Loughborough A, and that should be it. That should be it.
Well, now I wonder, now that Matthew Graham is not going to be the 60-point recipient.
Yes.
Is this a rare case where an Oxford Brooks penalty resulting in a Loughborough win would be cheered by the Oxford Brooks team? Oxford Brooks and Loughborough almost like the old enemy, almost like England versus Wales in the rugby at the weekend. They don't like, well, I say they don't like each other. They are the two most historically successful teams in this competition, and very competitive rivalry. Carl Morby is still in the lead out there on circuit by 3.255 seconds. Here he is coming down out of Spoon Corner. It's not going to be a 60 points, but it has been another very strong drive from another one of the most experienced drivers in the field. The number 6 is just ahead of them. That's Loughborough B. And, well, they don't need to get in the way because the penalty is going to give the win to the A team anyway. Coventry A still in 5th place. Carl Morby might be kicking himself a little bit for getting that ABC bump and pass penalty and losing the victory, but down through Devil's Elbow for the last time in race number 2. A superlative drive once again from Carl Morby. He wins on the road but has a penalty, so the 60 points will go to that driver there. Tom Fickpenny does it again at Glan Gors. Matthew Graham takes a very strong result for UEA, and they're the top clubman team. In 3rd on the road, that'll be 2nd once penalties are applied. Good drive there from Ben Street. Warwick A in 4th place. Will be promoted to 3rd, but fantastic Mr. Fox. Where is he coming around the final corner? There he is. Tom Fox for Coventry A takes 5th on the road. That'll be turned into 4th. And then it's Sheffield A, Callum Barnett across the line. Huddersfield A will be next, Jack Hodges. There's Matas. Oh no, Matas got 7th place on the last lap. What has happened to Huddersfield? They lost a lot of time on that last lap. So Coventry B take 7th place. Manchester Metropolitan, good drive there from Bradley Caps-Jenner. Top 10 for them. 9th place for Bath A. That was also a very good drive from Sam Cornwell. Huddersfield A wrap out the top 10. And it was Exeter B in 11th to Montford A 12th. Only 13th for Exeter A. That's not good news for their championship bid at all. Birmingham C 14th but ineligible. It was Bournemouth A, Aston A, Trent A, Newcastle B, Loughborough B and Leeds B wrapping out the top 20. Drivers coming into the dummy grid then. We'll do the changeover and get ready for race number 3. And we'll just wait for Mr. Harris. There he is. With legs almost as long as the Dragon Straight itself.
It's going to talk. Looks like we're going to be talking to Carl Morby. It should be Tom Fickpenny we're speaking to technically, but obviously We'll go with the winner on track.
I'm just going to check whether we are ready to go down to do subscribe to the Alpha Live YouTube channel. Very close to 9,000 subscribers if you're enjoying the stream. We are now ready to head down to the grid and to Mr. Jacob Harris, who has the winner on the road, Carl Morby.
Down here with race winner on the road. We'll get to Tom Thickpenny in a minute, but Carl Morby, great drive regardless of the penalty.
Yeah, it was alright. It was alright, I guess. I don't know what to say, because once again, penalty for no reason, but, you know, Oxford Brooks, big up Brooks. Might as well just change our name to, like, Coventry or Loughborough and we're all Gucci, shall we say.
Oof, strong words. You managed to get past Matthew Graham with no problem, though, without swiping him off?
Yeah, I thought I'd save the swiping, obviously for this back marker, apparently, so... but yeah, yeah, I think it just took a little while to get into the conditions, but... Just got to send it out, basically.
Good man, we'll send it, you did, and it's still 4th place.
Was it free play?
I think it's, I don't know, you might have to check that, but yeah, top 5.
Oh, I might try contest it, actually. Everyone likes contesting things nowadays. So we'll give that a blast and see how that goes.
Well, all the best with that, with JV. Wish you all the luck in the world.
Need a lot of that.
Kyle Morby there, who won the race on the road, but the actual race winner, due to his penalty, is Mr. Tom Thickpenny. Tom, great drive from yourself.
Yeah, I'm buzzing, to be fair. I was, Piers was on the radio because he was saying Carl's got a penalty and I don't know who second place was, but he was
Matthew Graham.
If we get him, then Matthew Graham. If we get him, then we'll win the race. So I was just absolutely going for it, and yeah, I'm buzzing, to be fair.
Pace was getting faster and faster towards the end of the race. What are the conditions like out there?
It's damp, but it's dry lines, and it's going to dry pretty quick. It was changing sort of every lap. I think it was drizzling at the start, and just had to sort of play it by ear. But it's good to get a win under our belts because it's been a tricky season so far. The Coventry bossing it, so maybe some sort of comeback, maybe, hopefully.
Oh, strong words. James Mills on pole position. Can he keep the comeback going?
Yeah, obviously. You can speak to him next, ask him. But yeah, that's what he's on pole for, to win. So.
Well, in fact, I'll challenge him on that now. Congratulations, Tom. James, Tom says you're on pole position to win. Can you do it?
That's the plan, yeah.
It may well be a comeback coming on, apparently. Coventry storming the championship so far, but Tom Thickpenny's win there puts you in good stead for this round.
Yeah, just hit halfway now, so we're not in the position we really wanted to be in for the championship, but it's still all to play for. Just need to stay consistent, make sure we get back that top step.
Matthew Taylor's over the other side of the grid, and I'm sure there's several talented drivers throughout. Anyone you're particularly worried about?
No, I just tend to focus on my own race. I don't really care about who's around me, as I've just got to beat them.
Good stuff. Just talking to us, James. Have a good race. Let's wander down this side. And who have we got here? Sam Gerrard's in for Cambridge. Sam, am I coming to you or are you coming to me? You're coming to me. I thought as much. How you doing?
Not bad, yeah, not bad.
Looking forward to this?
Yeah, especially after last round's result. We got our first round win. Pretty good.
Congratulations on that. Can you keep the form going?
Yeah, definitely. This is like a track I used to race at quite a lot, so if I've not lost it, then we should be okay. Hopefully.
Any top tips or secrets around here that you can give to the other drivers who are perhaps watching and racing tomorrow?
Not really. I don't know. It's quite grippy when it's wet. To be honest, it's much grippier than like PFI, for example. It's probably, I'd say this is my favourite track, best track in the country.
That's twice we've had that today. Actually, it's a strong opinion, but one that's shared by a couple of drivers apparently.
Elevation changes really. There's no other track that has it really, so pretty good.
Wilton, Buckmore?
Nah, nothing like this though, is it? It's mad, yeah.
Not quite. Fair enough. All right, have a good race, Sam. I'll speak to you later. Sam Gerrard there. Crispin is ineligible, I believe, so we'll wander further back. We've lined it up down here for a change this year. I'm going to wander to where I can see Max O'Shaughnessy, who won a race out in Buckmore and has now been promoted from Exeter B to Exeter A. Max, a promotion.
Promotion?
From Exeter B.
Not really. I was in A for a PF.
Well, yeah, but then you got demoted for Buckmore.
I've been in 2 rounds for each, so I'm just an extra driver, really.
Fair enough. And obviously you won at Buckmore.
Yeah.
Can we expect to see the same? Does that matter for a man of your talent?
I don't know. I feel like I could have come in the top 3 for the second race when I started at the back if I didn't get binned into the wall. But I don't know. I haven't driven GYG in these conditions, so I got a lot of learning to do.
And there's not many walls here to be binned into.
There's a lot of grass, which obviously seems to be catching people out. There's a wall up there that I've been in a few times, so yeah.
Well, you stay out of trouble and see how well you can do.
Right, thanks.
Cheers, Max. Max O'Shaughnessy. We're right at the back of the grid here. Let's jump over this side. Who have we got in the leads? Is this Kieran Harrison? It is Kieran.
It is.
A bit far back for you. You're normally starting at the front, aren't you?
Well, take one at the front, one at the back. It's fair, isn't it? I've got ninth in the afternoon, so
I guess
one each for the team, I guess.
Yeah, it's only fair. You're quite handy in these slippery conditions, often taking one of the earlier races for the Leeds team. Do you fancy yourself?
Yeah, I'm hoping for top 10. I'm pleased it's a little bit down, to be honest. It often makes it a bit easier to get through the pack. Buckmore on the first lap, I went from 33rd to 9th just because people crashing in the wet. Nothing to do with me. So I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased it's greasy, as you say. Hopefully I can get a top 10. We'll see.
There we have it, 33rd to 9th in one lap. I'll let you jump in because I think we're ready to get going, but I'll quickly have a word with Mr. Andrew Hunt of Kingston. Andrew, decent running last time out for yourself and the team. Can we expect to see similar today?
Probably not.
Never mind then.
Yeah, probably not going to go that well. I was hoping for a bit more rain, to be honest, because it went all right about more, but not to be, so... Well, I've taken my rain suit off now, so it probably will rain.
Yeah, you need to finish doing up your race and putting your gloves on though, so I'll let you jump in the car. We're holding up the race. Quick chat with, Chris is here. Chris is a graduate. Chris, you're not going to start any sexing rows today, are you?
I beg your pardon?
Nothing, never mind, see you later. And quick chat with Charlie Lamb for Team Nottingham. Charlie, you've been here before, right?
Yeah, a couple of times. Not for a long while though.
We've had a few drivers say this is their favourite track in the UK. Do you like it?
I like it here, yeah, it's very technical. Get used to it again. I think it's still a little bit damp out there, so it'll be interesting at the start of the race.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing for you?
I guess we'll see, won't we? Makes it a bit more unpredictable at the start, so we'll see.
That it does. You start in midfield. Do you reckon you can make your way to the front?
Obviously, there's a few quick guys at the front, it looks like, so I think top 5's the aim here.
Give us a number. After one lap, where are you going to be?
14th, we'll say that.
Where are you starting?
20th.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks, Charlie.
Right.
Charlie Lamb there of Nottingham. I think we've got time for another quick chat. I'm going to dive in with who I think is Aston. Is this Aston?
It is Aston, yeah.
Is this Jamil?
It is, yeah.
See, I recognise you. In your helmet and your suit. You're that distinctive now.
Right.
That's how long you've been around.
Way too long.
I don't think we've had much of a chat with Aston as a helicopter rudely flies over us. I don't think I've had much to chat with Aston. Just quickly, how you guys doing this season?
Okay, I guess. Not the best, but not the worst. Well, a lot of new drivers here today, this season.
Right, okay, to get off. That was Jamil of Aston University. This is going to be lightweight sprint 2, or race 3 of the day. James Johnson and Andrew Mather are in the commentary box.
Hello everyone and welcome back to GYG from the perspective of the BUKC. We are getting ready for race 3. This is the second lightweight round, this new system brought in for the BUKC this year. Obviously drivers only have to weigh up to the normal 75 kilograms. We have a couple of drivers spinning around at the start of these practice laps. But hopefully we will be able to take you through a grid in the next couple of moments. Just watching drivers come round. See, and here we go then for the grid. So starting on pole position, we have Loughborough A with James Mills, and in second place it is Aidan Charity in the Sheffield A kart. Cambridge A, Samuel Gerrard, he is starting in third place, and it's Matthew Taylor in the Oxford Brooks A kart alongside him in fourth. Connor Crickmore is starting fifth for Loughborough C, and it's Tor Nielsen starting in sixth for the Oxford Brooks D kart. Coventry D have Peter Bishop at the wheel in seventh, and it's Kaiser Santoso in eighth for Huddersfield B. Birmingham A have Benjamin Boros in the kart in ninth place, and it's UE A, Oliver Davis alongside him in 10th. Ryan Davis starting in 11th for Trinity A, and it's Edward England starting in 12th for Cambridge B. Queen Mary A, Anthony Small starting in 13th place, and it's Jamil Sheikh Mahmood starting in 14th for Aston A. Trinity B have Angus Rankin at the wheel, they are in 15th, and in 16th it is Janine Zhao for Birmingham B. Brighton B have Elena Lopez de la Rosa starting in 17th place, and it's Ignacio Rodriguez starting in 18th for Nottingham Trent B. Newcastle A have Aaron Leishman starting in 19th, and in 20th it is Charlie Lamb in the Nottingham A kart. Southampton A have George Pelosi starting in 21st place, and Loughborough D are in 22nd, but they are ineligible. Exeter A are one to look out for. Max O'Shaughnessy starting in 23rd place, and another one who I think should be looked out for is Alexander Darcy starting in 24th for Bath A. Newcastle B have James Grant at the wheel in 25th place, and Andrew Hunt, one of the top performers for the clubman class in Buckmore last time out. He is starting in 26th for Kingston A. Osama Rizwan is starting 27th for Manchester A, and Kieran Harrison, another one to look out for in this race, coming through the field, starting in 28th for Leeds A. Oxford Brooks B, Lucas Sullivan starting 29th. Oxford Brooks, so it's an all Brooks 15th row of the grid, with Arvin Esmaili starting in 30th place for Brooks C. Brighton A have Ezekiel James starting in 22nd, and right at the back we have Birmingham C, who are an ineligible driver. And that is your grid. Smaller grid than what we are used to. A couple of teams haven't turned up to this round, whether that be a cost issue or a logistics issue, we're not entirely sure. And I'm happy to say that Andrew Mavitt is back in the commentary box.
Hello. Hello indeed. Do hope you're enjoying your morning. I think we've had our first two races have been very, very good. If you're enjoying the stream provided to you by Alpha Live, do make sure that you're giving them a like on Facebook at Alpha Live Production, a follow on Twitter at Alpha Live LTD. But the big one, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really close to 9,000 subscribers on that one, so that'd be fantastic if you can click the subscribe button on the YouTube platform. You can support us as well, Double Dash Motorsport Media, your commentary providers for the full BUKC season. Club 100 season starting up soon, Bayford Meadows. Certain things pertaining, we're not mentioning the word today, we should on the 22nd of March be having our first Club 100 sprint stream of the season down there. But yes, you can support us, giving us a like at Double Dash Motorsport Media on Facebook, and on Twitter and Instagram as well. Follows and all the rest of that pertaining stuff at Double Dash MM. Grid formed up then for this third race of the day. This is the second appearance of the lightweight drivers, so we're back down to 75 kilograms being the weight limit for this field. Anyone who is to be weighed under that gets disqualified. Nil point, monsieur. Interesting to see how James Mills does here. Very strong driver, not just in the BUKC, but a TKM Clubman driver as well on the Motorsport UK scene. Places such as Shannington and Wilton Mill. Aidan Charity, though, he's had some good results in the past. Samuel Gerrard.
Matthew Taylor as well, very strong.
Matthew Taylor, a super final winner as well,
Very strong front row of the grid here, and obviously we've got to look out for the Oxford Brooks B driver of Lucas Sullivan, but it looks like we are ready to go with this race, and it is James Mills who leads away. Aidan Charity falling immediately down into second place. It would appear to be Samuel Gerrard who has cut up into second place, but he's going to trace him down the Dragon Stray. Samuel Gerrard defending, coming into turn 2, and it's as you were through coming into Spoon Corner, but Samuel Gerrard is going to have a little look down the inside of Spoon, but James Mills has kept out of trouble for the moment. We've now got Matthew Taylor very interested in the back of Aidan Charity. He's going to send it down the inside. Little bit of contact there, but it was pod to pod, so that is okay. Aidan Charity is going to try and fight round the outside into compression, but Matthew Taylor has got that move done, as we already have a cone penalty for Coventry D, and it looks like we've got Samuel Gerrard having a little look down the inside of James Mills heading into the S's section, but at the moment we're going to be crossing the line any minute now. Didn't see any big spinners on that lap. So it was a clean start. Wide for James Mills, and this is going to bring Matthew Taylor into the equation. He goes down the inside of Samuel Gerard. He's got one place done, but Samuel Gerard's going to fight back, coming up the Dragon Straight. It's still James Mills out in front of this race. Samuel Gerard has the inside line coming into turn 2. He's going to get the position back, but will Matthew Taylor try and send it down the inside into Spoon? He has a look at it. Samuel Gerard defending well, and it is as you were coming through Spoon Corner, but now coming down towards Carousel a little bit. We've got a yellow flag down at the Carousel corner.
Yeah, problems I think out there for Aston A, the number 20, and Trinity B, the number 49. They have not, well, Aston A have just registered coming across the line to finish lap 1. Trinity B still out there somewhere.
I think I know what's happened to Trinity B. We have our very first sufferer of going into the grassy mosh pit of death.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, once you're stuck in there, it is very unlikely you're coming out. We've got waved yellows from Carousel through to the compression. So it is an F in the chat there for. Big spinner down on the last corner. All the drivers separate beautifully, and that driver gets on the way there. But coming back now to the action on screen, it is James Mills leading now from Samuel Gerard. We've got I think it was Manchester A. No, sorry, it was Loughborough C who have fallen down. So they've fallen down the order, which is unfortunate for them. They actually thought they'd fall behind Loughborough D, but obviously that's not technically Loughborough D. It is an ineligible driver once again.
Yeah, you mentioned that area just coming through Compression Corner because the hill slopes away there, and if you do get wide, you cannot pull that one back. Thankfully, the driver didn't go too deep. That's quite a regular area for cart blankets, I find, back in the day. As up the inside, number 14, Cambridge, looking for the move there on James Mills, but James Mills resists, keeps the lead for now. Matthew Taylor, very interested party there, sat in the number 7 in 3rd place, changed for 5th place. Birmingham A on the move. I think it's Benjamin Boris. Yes, it is, driving for them in this race. Just got past Coventry D, who already have a penalty and a contact warning. A couple of teams falling down the order. I think something's happened to Kingston A. They've fallen down 10 positions. UEA have fallen down 8 positions behind 2 Oxford Brooks carts. So the memes go wild there as UEA have a little bit of trouble out on circuit. Keep an eye on Aidan Charity there as well in the number 18. Sheffield A having a solid day so far. Exeter A, Max O'Shaughnessy, driver Jacob spoke to earlier on, is up to P11 now and is the fastest driver out on circuit at 57.403.
We mentioned as well, another driver to look out for, Kieran Harrison, has made massive progress. There's a change for the lead. So James Mills no longer leading this race. It is Samuel Gerard who's obviously made a move somewhere on track, and that has also helped. It's the Oxford Brooks age. It's Matthew Taylor is the driver who's also come through. So it's now Samuel Gerard leading from Matthew Taylor, and then James Mills and Aidan Charity. That's your top 4. Only 0.8 of a second covers the top 4 at the moment, but we are currently looking at the battle for 7th place between Nottingham A and Cambridge B.
Yeah, it's Charlie Lamb at the moment at the wheel of the Nottingham A cars. Has come through the field quite nicely from 20th on the grid. Race winner in previous rounds, of course. Nottingham A we always call the kings of consistency. They're always there or thereabouts in the BUKC. Contact warning for the number 34, which is Leeds A in 10th place at the moment. That's Kieran Harrison, another driver who we said watch out for him coming through the field. Max O'Shaughnessy still driving as well. I think Max O'Shaughnessy might have got by. We'll concentrate on this battle. This is Coventry D in the number 95 under attack from Nottingham A in the number 9, 6th and 7th place out there on circuit. Peter Bishop driving for Coventry D as we now return back to quick shot there of Max O'Shaughnessy, and up the inside goes Lamb. Charlie Lamb goes through past Peter Bishop, and that is 6th place for Nottingham A. Exeter A have got past Leeds A. There it is, number 5 and number 34. Max O'Shaughnessy ahead of Kieran Harrison, but Kieran Harrison trying to fight back there, trying to find a way up the inside of Max O'Shaughnessy. Max O'Shaughnessy, who's driven in many series, driven here before in other series, does a lot of racing down at Rye House. See him in his Zingray Racing suit there. He races in the Rye House Pro Karting competition.
Here's
And is now down the inside of the number 81 of Cambridge B. Side by side as they come over start finish. Will Kieran Harrison try and take advantage of this? He sticks his nose up the inside. That was well judged by all drivers. It's Edward England. No, I think they've changed some drivers actually. That's not Edward England driving in the number 81. Come back to me, I'm trying to work out who that is. But Kieran Harrison up the inside of Cambridge B there, gets the move done through Spoon Curve. Nice, clean overtaking there from Leeds A's driver.
Just had a driver off down at turn 1. I think that might have been James Grant of Newcastle, so we will wait for a confirmation on that. But yeah, no, fantastic driving by both of those guys, Max O'Shaughnessy and Kieran Harrison. And as someone else that needs to be taken into account is Mr. Sullivan in the Oxford Brooks B car. He has climbed up to 13th place and is getting close to the back of this battery. He's got Bath A, Alexander Darcy. Oh, there's an incident there. Not quite sure who that was between us. There's a penalty for Loughborough A. So third place have got a penalty. We'll wait for confirmation as to what kind of penalty it is. If it's a bump and pass, it's 4 places. If it's track limits, you're looking about a place, 1 place. Cone penalty, also 1 place or 2 place. So we'll wait for that. But Loughborough A definitely not finishing where they are now, as a little bit of a gap has opened up between the top 2 and 3rd and 4th. Samuel Gerrard still leading from Matthew Taylor, although it has to be said Matthew Taylor did just get a very good drive through the S's, and we've got a car off. That's the spinner from earlier, and Matthew Taylor firmly coming into the back of Samuel Gerrard. Oxford, it's Trinity A who are the car that have spun off. Wait for confirmation on who was driving. It was that is a different race. But anyway, looking at this battle for the lead, the gap has opened up slightly heading into Spoon, as we now got back markers beginning to play a part. This could be one of the Trinity teams.
Just to confirm, it's Dominic Cousins driving the Cambridge B car. I was aware that they had done 1 driver swap, so that must be it. So Edward England did race 1. Dominic Cousins now doing this race 3. That's lightweight for lightweight, as we focus on the battle here over the lead of the race.
Oxford Brooks D, who are that lapped car. So both of them get past with relative ease. Looks like the battle for 3rd place, which is obviously not relevant really, because Loughborough A have got a penalty.
Arvid Ashmaili currently fastest driver out there on circuit. There's an off. Now, where was that? That was a strange.
That's
your favourite patch
No,
of
it is the second grassy area of Doom, just at the top of Spoon. That is somewhere where that is another place where drivers will end up on the grass and they're going to have a bad time, and they're not going to be out of their form.
Way off circuit.
He's had a shocker there. Not entirely sure what's happened. So.
It's Coventry D falling down through the order, James. So it's Peter Bishop who'd already picked up penalties. We are back here. This is the battle for 3rd place. Loughborough A and Sheffield A with the number 19 in the mix there, which is a lap down. That's Oxford Brooks D. James Mills trying to resist here from Aidan Charity. We know Mills has a penalty.
Sorry, Andrew. The penalty for Loughborough A is an overtake under yellow. That's a 4-place penalty, if I'm not mistaken, as Aidan Charity there struggling behind a back marker. So James Mills has got a little bit of a gap now to Aidan Charity, but obviously it is irrelevant because Aidan Charity will be picking up that place. Meanwhile, we're at the Birmingham A car battle for the lead of the Clubman teams. They are just 2.8 seconds behind this fight. So if it starts to get close, back markers start to play a part. We will see a decent fight for the lead of the Clubman class. Leeds A also just a little bit further back in 7th place.
Birmingham A in a bit of a similar situation to Coventry in terms of that they lead the ranks in Clubman by a fair few points after round 4. Mills' big mistake is off. Oh, now can he keep the engine running? Can he keep it going? It's Rallycross here, not that far away from where some of the World Rally Championship stages. Come on, James, keep it going. Yes. Wow, big save there. And he's lost a lot of time. Here comes Charlie Lamb around the outside, and Kieran Harrison and Max O'Shaughnessy. But big sigh of relief there. James Mills will be annoyed. He's going to go down to 8th place. But that could have been a lot worse.
That was absolutely amazing. That is the boggy grass pit of death there coming through compression corner. And obviously the bad news here for James Mills is obviously he's got that massive penalty yet to come.
Great switchback.
Great move there from Kieran Harrison on Charlie Lamb, and it looks like it's going to be
Max
O'Shaughnessy coming through as well. So double overtake there. Charlie Lamb losing 2 places in the space of 2 corners. Fantastic little move there, and now is James Mills. He's also going to send it down the inside. Actually, no, it's Charlie Lamb still fighting with Max O'Shaughnessy. James Mills getting firmly involved in this. Are we going to see any issues through compression? No, not yet. So it's all very close. There is a change for the lead as well. Come on to that in a moment, but it is currently Kieran Harrison now pulling away from this little gap.
Lucas Sullivan's going to get involved in this as well. You can see him in almost like the Team Lotus style suit just behind in the Oxford Brooks B kart, but that was a huge, I should say, Penmachno rally stage is about 20 minutes away from us. That was something quite akin to what you see on Wales Rally GB, but Sullivan now looking to get past Mills here. Oxford Brooks having not a bad day so far, leading this race, of course, as we say, the change. Matthew Taylor now up at the front of the field, has got past Samuel Gerrard. We'll come back to that in a moment, because this is a key battle in the middle of the field. Coventry will be enjoying this, seeing some of their title rivals fighting it out. That's kind of been one of the stories of the season, that a lot of the rival teams to Coventry do tend to take points off one another. It is so evenly matched. Huge slide there for the number 20. That's Aston A, who've already had problems.
Jamil Sheikh Mahmood
look
at
out
the wheel of that car.
Look out for Bath A as well. I mean, I do think they've got a penalty.
They've picked up a penalty along the way. I think they were firmly involved in the fight that we were watching on screen. Meanwhile, we're now looking at the battle for, this could be for
fourth place.
Third, fourth place. So it's Aidan Charity versus the Birmingham A driver of Benjamin Boros, and obviously somewhere in here will be Leeds A as well in the battle for the. So it's a three-way fight now for the lead of the clubman class in this race.
12 minutes to go, halfway through it then. Contact warning for Benjamin Boros in the number 4. There's your leader, number 7, Matthew Taylor, super final winner from almost 12 months ago. Remember, you will be able to watch the Drivers' Championship as part of our big BUKC finals weekend at Clay Pigeon, the 3rd of April through to the 5th of April. There's the number 13. Having a decent run of it. It's Southampton A currently in 22nd place.
Should just point out as well,
number 14, Cambridge A, trying to fight their way back to Matthew Taylor. Matthew Taylor's just there. You saw the yellow flash on the back of his helmet up there at the front. It's Kezia Santoso in the Huddersfield B car 2. Good driving there from Kezia. Gets out of the way. Big thank you. We've just hit 9,000 subscribers on the Alpha Live YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your continued support. Matthew Taylor fighting his way through, has got past the number 61 now, which is Queen Mary A. This is why I love this place, James, because you get this cat and mouse racing back and forth, especially when the back markers start to get involved. Change for second place. There it is. Sheffield A have nipped past Cambridge A. Fantastic driving there from Aidan Charity through the traffic. So it's now Sheffield A in second place, leading in Clubman as well. Birmingham A not too far behind in the number 4. Can they hold on for this 4th place? This is starting to hot up, James. This is going to be a good end to this race.
Absolutely, and it should be pointed out, brilliant drivers, a spinner there, but a brilliant drive from Aidan Charity. He got left for dead at the start of this race. He's a clubman driver, clubman team. You would have thought they'd be out of this race, nowhere in it. They are still in it, and has to be said, looking like they could be the closest challenger to Oxford Brooks A at the moment. Meanwhile, a little bit further down the grid, there were a couple of movers. Nottingham, so Charlie Lamb is now back in front of Max O'Shaughnessy. Kieran Harrison has got a decent gap to that little battle there for 5th place. But now coming onto the Dragon Straight, Aidan Charity right up Matthew Taylor's rear. And are we going to see anything? No, it looks like Matthew Taylor got a little bit better of a drive coming out of turn 2. And Samuel Gerrard now firmly interested as well. We've got a beautiful three-way fight for the lead of this race. Leeds A, meanwhile, falling down the order again. So brilliant drive. So Kieran Harrison now fallen 2 places, lost 2 positions to Max O'Shaughnessy and Charlie Lamb. Black flag for Cambridge B, but Aidan Charity so close to the back of Matthew Taylor, but he's compromised coming out of Carousel. Is Samuel Gerrard going to send it down into the compression? No, he thinks better of it. Still just under 10 minutes of this race left to go, so there's some brilliant racing yet to come. They've lapped up to at least Queen Mary's A, so they're lapped up to 19th place. Back markers will surely continue to play a part in this race, as Birmingham A have now picked up a penalty. We'll see what that was for, as Samuel Gerrard now sets the fast lap of the race, and he is properly interested in the back of Aidan Charity. So Matthew Taylor giving the signal, let's work together. They've closed up massively heading into Spoon. There could be an overtake coming from either of them. No, they are working, so right now they are working together beautifully. A three-way fight for the lead, but they are just extending the gap. They've got a massive gap anyway to Birmingham A, 10 seconds, and Birmingham A themselves have a penalty. Just check. There's a bump and pass for Benjamin Boris, so that is a 4-place deduction. Obviously, you might think, why would it be a bump and pass? The next person to him on track they're miles up the road. No matter if you're lapping, being lapped, anything, if you bump someone off the road, you get a bump and pass penalty for it. That's how it's worked. It's fair. It might not seem fair to if you are the guy racing at the front, but it's fair overall. Meanwhile, Aidan Charity sets the fastest lap of the race. We're firmly into dry times now, 52.5. Aidan Charity getting brilliant drive on Matthew Taylor coming up the Dragon Straight, heading towards Spoon. Is he going to potentially send it down the inside? No, they continue to work together. They're just extending that lead, setting basically like-for-like lap times, heading now down towards Carousel, working together fantastically. Meanwhile, just looking out the window, we've got a decent scrap for sort of the lower reaches. Going to keep an eye on that fight for 5th place. Max O'Shaughnessy currently leading that fight. It will be technically for 4th place, because obviously the Birmingham A have got that 4th-place drop. Meanwhile, Loughborough in the battle between James Mills, Lucas Sullivan and Oxford Brook C. It's currently James Mills behind that, but now we have another penalty, a contact penalty for Leeds A. So that is Kieran Harrison. He is currently in 7th place. So this will promote Lucas Sullivan and the Oxford Brooks C driver at the very least. That is Arvin Ismaili in the Brooks C kart. Just keeping an eye on these three at the front, still working
There's
together.
an off in turn 1. It's the number 54, I think it is. Unfortunately, there's a lead suit in my way.
That's Birmingham C, Andrew. And I'm dubbing that the 3rd boggy, grassy pit of destruction that he has got himself stuck in, miles off the road, coming into turn 1. So the cart just coming out of the pits there. That will be one of the black flag service on shores. There's another black flag.
KHB spinner in Devil's Elbow. Not quite sure who that is. Leaders get round very nicely. We'll try and check them. Birmingham A falling down the order.
Round the out. Sorry, Andrew. Round the outside goes Aidan Charity, and he now moves into 1st place. Yellow flags out for turn 1. So Aidan Charity now leading this race. Another brilliant move round the outside of Tower Block Curb Corner, and now Sam Gerrard is surely going to have an opportunity. They were working together for the past couple of laps. Now that has stopped, and surely now Aidan Charity going to try and break away. So it's still Matthew Taylor in front of Samuel Gerrard. Lucas Sullivan sets the fastest lap of the race as a 52 dead. So the lap time's properly coming down now.
Apologies, I hadn't spotted that Birmingham A had got a black flag, so that was why they have fallen down the order. I was about to say I thought they'd pitted mistakenly for a just normal bump and pass penalty, but no, they had got that black flag. So that's not good for them in Clubman's to lose a good haul of points there. Down outside the top 25 now.
They have a black flag and an ABC back on top of that, so they'll be still be losing 4 place from where they are. So bad sequence of events there.
It's kind of been the story of Birmingham this year. Too many penalties.
It's what cost them the qualifiers.
Yep.
They should have been a Prem team, but they continued to make mistakes, and they were punished for it. Meanwhile, just going through our window there, spotting the battle for what is now 4th place, X to A, Max O'Shaughnessy leading that battle, but Lucas Sullivan, I could just see him heading up the inside through the 2nd corner, and we should be picking up now. So there goes Max O'Shaughnessy, and there goes Lucas Sullivan lapping the 26. Oh, there's a bump there somewhere. Kieran Harrison, I think, just gave Lucas Sullivan a tap, and Charlie Lamb now heading through in the Nottingham A kart. So this is the battle for 5th place. Max O'Shaughnessy has checked out a little bit in 4th. So it just depends in can they now work together doing what the top 3 were doing earlier and try and get onto the back of Max O'Shaughnessy.
Strong pace from Sheffield A. Aidan Charity starting to drive away from the rest of the field. He's just set a 51.984, which is the fastest lap of the race so far, as Charlie Lamb nearly gets it all wrong, and Kieran Harrison's going to come through, but it's a penalty. Another penalty for the number 34. It's a contact one this time. Side by side as they go up the Dragon Straight up towards Spoon Corver. You go over the crest of the hill. It's a blind rise as Sullivan goes through. This has been a very nice drive, I've got to say, from Lucas Sullivan, one of the best ones I've seen him have in the BUKC. Kieran Harrison still scraps around the rear axle of Charlie Lamb. Is there a route down the inside into Carousel? Side by side, the two A teams, and Harrison is going to nip through and get past Charlie Lamb for 6th place on the road. Cambridge B have fallen down the order now. They're now down in 28th, although I think they also had a black flag. So it's been a bit of a scrappy race, this. Contacts warning for Trinity B. They're currently in 29th. There is your leader. Aidan Charity leads by almost half a second. Max O'Shaughnessy has also just gone fastest, although no, sorry, that's been taken away by Lucas Sullivan. So Lucas Sullivan, Oxford Brookes B, now the fastest driver out on circuit. Loughborough A, James Mills trying to fight back. He's just got past Oxford Brookes C for 8th place, but Matthew Taylor, on this lap at least, is not giving this up. It looks like he's starting to close in a little bit on Aidan Charity, and there's traffic for Sheffield A.
And speaking of that, traffic is quite significant because it is UEA who are now holding up Sheffield A and obviously Oxford Brookes. So we'll see what happens with this one. Aidan Charity not able to get past there, and this is going to give Matthew Taylor an opportunity coming up the Dragon Straight. He's going to be on the inside for the first corner. Aidan Charity decent on straight line speed, so Matthew Taylor not going to be able to send it down the inside into turn 2, but is he going to have a look down into Spoon Corner? No, not yet. So UEA, whoever is driving for UEA, has got properly involved in this fight. It's Aidan Charity getting in the way. It's Oliver Davis, the driver in that UE kart. Aidan Charity is through, Matthew Taylor is through, is Samuel Gerald through? I think that there was a cone knocked over there. Not sure who that was. If that was one of these front three, that is a penalty slam dunk. So we'll watch that one closely. As down, Samuel Gerard having a look down the inside of Matthew Taylor. Little bit of contact there. So if we'll wait to see if there is a cone penalty on its way in. Don't think so at the moment, but that was certainly a risky move, slightly argy-bargy move from Samuel Taylor. And all this has meant that Aidan Charity has got away with one there. He got a little bit compromised by Oliver Davis in the UE kart, but he's got away with it for now. Meanwhile, Samuel Gerard firmly interested in the back of Matthew Taylor. The battle for 4th place rages on. Lucas Sullivan setting the fastest lap of the race as a 51.
Sorry, the Birmingham C, it's not a Birmingham C driver because it's an illegible car, but that's not really nice, squeezing the leader, and that's compromised Charity as well.
Double checking.
Matthew Taylor right on the tail. I don't like to see that when back markers should know that they're back markers, especially the Birmingham C driver. The driver in the Birmingham C kart has already fallen off the road, getting in the way of the leaders. Number 26, that's how you be a back marker. Just keep out the way. But this is a chance now for Matthew Taylor, side by side as they go up through the Dragon Straight once again. Can Taylor hold the inside line? Charity's got good power up the hill and cuts across the nose of the former Super Final champion, who has a half look there, but it's a very tricky overtaking manoeuvre, James, into that Spoon curve, because you're coming over the crest of the hill, you're carrying so much speed, and it's a short braking zone into that right-hander.
Absolutely, yes, and it's, again, if you go for it, it doesn't work. You've got Sam Gerald waiting in the wings to pick up the pieces. We're going to be coming on to the final lap any moment now. Aidan Charity getting a little bit of a gap over Matthew Taylor through the S's section. Andrew alluded to it earlier, the ebb and flow of this track is spectacular. You've got a massive long straight that then leads into some of the tightest corners on the BUKC calendar. But we're coming on to the final lap, and there is a serious amount of traffic now for Aidan Charity. He is going to have to get past him, and we have a yellow flag down the carousel, so the race will be neutralised at that point. But coming into the S's, this could get very interesting indeed. It is still Aidan Charity leading from Matthew Taylor, but Matthew Taylor now, he was going to have a look down the inside into the carousel, but there is that yellow flag. Could that be the lifeline that Aidan Charity needed? We've seen that driver off before, so Samuel Gerald now trying to take some extreme lines through compression. I think Aidan Charity has got this one wrapped up. So we're looking at that battle for 2nd place. Aidan Charity in amongst lap cars. We saw this on lap 1. Where's Aidan Charity gone? Aidan Charity says something's happened to him. Something's happened to Aidan Charity. Into the final corner. Samuel Gerard going down the inside, but Aidan Charity gets it back. I get a little bit too excited, but oh my goodness me, that was quite extreme towards the end of that race. Aidan Charity trying to lap the back markers, getting caught out. Matthew Taylor goes for the inside. Aidan Charity holds on to it, and out of nowhere, Samuel Gerrard, who tried to send it down on both of them, he has come through in second place, so we knew something was going to happen in that race. Brilliant driving from all three of them. It is Aidan Charity who wins. It is then Sam Gerrard in second place, Matthew Taylor in third, Exeter A, Max O'Shaughnessy finishes in fourth. Lucas Sullivan, brilliant drives here from the back of the grid. So Max O'Shaughnessy coming from the back in fourth, Exeter A. Lucas Sullivan also coming from the back for Oxford Books B. We had Kieran Harrison, who has got a number of penalties to be applied, in sixth. Charlie Lamb in seventh for Nottingham A. Josh Mills, James Mills, sorry, in eighth place for Loughborough A, but they have a four-place penalty. We have Oxford Books C, Arvin Ismaili in ninth place. Then it's Newcastle A, James Grant, and then we have Bath A, Newcastle B, Kingston A, Nottingham Trent B, UE A, who had almost played a massive part in the victory of that race, Brighton A, Queen Mary A, Brighton B, Southampton A, and Birmingham B rounds out your top 20. Apologies to all headphone users out there if I got a little bit too excited right at the end, but it was I thought Samuel Gerrard was trying to do two for the price of one into Tower Block corner.
That's all right, mate. It's, if you can't get excited about that, I don't know what you can get excited about. Also to get excited about is the Alpha Live Instagram competition for their followers on there. They may have seen that they had a little question out on their Instagram story, which is how many live stream days did Alpha Live have in 2019?
A million.
It felt like a million. The answer was 83, and this was for a prize of a 60-minute voucher to use at Simply Race, the simulation race centre down in Milton Keynes. I'm very, very happy to announce that our winner is Ashton French. Ashton French, who's a junior Rotax driver, races in the British Kart Championships. Ashton French got the correct answer of 83 and is your winner of the Alpha Live Instagram competition. Do make sure that you're following the Alpha Live Instagram page on Instagram, which I'm just going to get this right, is at Alpha Live Productions.
Sorry, Andrew, just
for winning that prize.
Sorry, just to cut across you there, I've been informed that they are doing a weigh-in for the, apparently they're not doing a weigh-in actually, so I've been misinformed. But yes, obviously weight is an important part of the BUKC now with these lightweight and heavyweight classes. I think are we good to go down to Jacob? So no, we're not. No, we're going to wait for that for the moment.
Yeah, decent race that was why I love this place, because the different aspects of this circuit mean you get those, you know, the different ways of racing. You've got the long run with the slipstreaming, but then coming down through the compression corner and Devil's Elbow section, you know, you've got to be on top of things to be able to get the moves done.
Yes, no, absolutely. I think Aidan Charity, you could see, struggled through that slow section, but he had so much pace heading up heading up the Dragon Straight. I'm going to try and bring you Jacob with the race winners in any moment, but we're still waiting for that. And yeah, it should be noted that there are a lot of penalties to be applied in that race, so this certainly is a very provisional race lineup. So we're just waiting for the drivers to appear. So that is the hold up with us being able to bring you down.
This is where they're very quick out on circuit, but then very slow.
I think Jacob has now got Aidan Charity, so I'm hoping we are able to go down to Mr. Jacob Harris.
Charity, sorry. We're down here with race winner Aidan Charity. Aidan, first race win in the BUKC.
Yeah, it was really good fun. Had a rocket. I felt a bit bad on that last corner. Tried to undercut and I just accidentally gave someone a tap. So yeah, we'll have to see if we get a penalty or anything for that. But yeah, really good fun race. First time back in like ages. Didn't even do qualifiers, so yeah, proper happy.
And a big result for Sheffield, who haven't necessarily had the best luck these last couple of years.
Yeah, no. I think since Rob left, that was our sort of like rocket who sort of like got a lot of our results. And yeah, like, I don't know, we sort of like usually have about 2 or 3 people who've had actual karting experience before, and then it's just sort of like a hodgepodge of people after that who are just almost giving it a go for the first time. So yeah.
And the man you beat was our current reigning BUKC super champion, Matthew Taylor. I'll say congratulations to yourself on the race win, and I'll talk to him now, so congratulations.
No, cheers, thank you very much.
And Matthew. No handshakes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, sorry. I'll go and wash my hands immediately.
Should do. Narrowly avoided the race win. Can you avoid coronavirus as well?
If you keep clean, then yes, you can.
I like that, and that's also a way to go racing as well.
Fun as well, you know.
Like that. Good race from yourself.
Yeah, a bit frustrating. The Cambridge guy decided to take me, well, nearly take me off on the last corner when he had a penalty, but yeah, oh well, it's what it is. Still second, I think, so yeah, not too bad. Good race, fun race, so yeah, not too bad.
You confident for a Brooks podium?
We're doing all right so far. We've had our front grid, so hopefully the guys from the back can come through, but unfortunately Carl got a penalty when he won it, so theoretically we could have had a first and second, but we can still get a good result if the others come through.
All right, then cheers for talking to us, and let's go see how those people at the back of the grid will be getting on for this one. We'll start with captain of Birmingham, Mr. Jake O'Sullivan. Jake, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. What can we expect to see from you here? Where are we starting?
I'm starting 24th, so the aim is to go forwards. The last race we just had a driver black flag from 4th, so we've got to kind of make up for that now, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, good luck. I think you've got to jump in your cart, so I'm going to go grab someone else quickly before the race begins. Jake O'Sullivan there of Birmingham. We're going to wander further down the grid. I've seen someone I definitely need to speak to. I'm getting in everyone's way here, but really, really quick, we'll go for 2 drivers. I'm going to have Michael Grebe of Manchester. Michael, real quick, before the race starts, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Healthy.
Are you looking forward to this?
Yes, very. I'm a bit excited. I've never been here before, to be honest, but it looks beautiful. The scenery is beautiful, so I'll enjoy it.
You've got yourself quite a high grid slot here. How did you swing that one?
Oh, well, we got lucky, I guess. We got lucky, yeah. So far the season's been a little rough on us. We are short of one good driver, so but we're doing good so far, I think. We are quite happy with the season, and hopefully the race is going to go well for us.
Good man, good to talk to you. I'm going to jump in with Mr. Karting himself, Konstantinos. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm very excited, to be honest.
It's lovely to have you here in my home country. You're very, very welcome. Have you been to GYG before?
No, I haven't. First time. Should be really nice, I guess.
You're in for an absolute treat. I'll let you get on.
Thanks.
Konstantinos there. Unfortunately, not enough time to go around the rest of the grid. Back up to the comments box. Andrew and James, talk us through this race number 4.
Hello everyone, welcome back to GYG from the perspective of the BUKC. We have a grid for you now for race 4, heavyweight race 2. So on pole position it is Birmingham C with Max Wade at the wheel, and starting second it is Nathaniel Gollin in the Brighton A kart. Oxford Brooks C and Aidan Lear are in 3rd place, and it's another All Brooks second row of the grid this time. It's Callum James starting in 4th place for the Brooks B team. Jack Fisher starts in 5th place for Leeds A, and it's Michael Grebe starting in 6th for Manchester A. Jack O'Toole is 7th for Kingston A, and Ollie Underwood starts in 8th for Newcastle B. James Bumet starts in 9th for Bath A, and it's Mr. Carter himself, Konstantinos, so good to name him twice. He's starting in 10th. Loughborough D ineligible starting in 11th, and it's Carlos Guilherme Borchetto starting in 12th. Henry Jackson in the Nottingham A car is 13th, and Aaron Foster starting in 14th for Newcastle A. William Toon is in 15th for Nottingham Trent B, and alongside him it is Nick Hicken starting in 16th for Brighton B. Ethan Herford is starting in 17th for Birmingham B, and in 18th it is Trinity B with Ainsley Martin at the wheel. Daniel Cohen starting in 19th for Aston A, and Queen Mary A are in 20th, but they are ineligible. Cambridge B, Jared Wilson Godber starting in 21st, and Ben Gilbert starting in 22nd for Trinity A. Kieran Woodhouse is 23rd for UEA, and it's Jake O'Sullivan in 24th for Birmingham A. Zubin Motorshaw is starting in 25th for Huddersfield B, and it's Joao Pinto starting in 26th for Coventry D, Callum Porter starting 26th for Oxford Brooks D, and Lewis Kerrod starts in 28th for Loughborough C. Piers Pakenham Walsh making a return to the BUKC for this round is starting in 29th for Oxford Brooks A, and it's Sam Massey, a very experienced 15th row of the grid there, is in this race. So Sam Massey starting 30th place. Amy Jurger starting in 31st place for Sheffield A, and it's James Ireland in 32nd for Loughborough A. And that is your grid. So we have what looks to be another, once again we have a lot of very experienced drivers coming from the back of the field here. Pakenham, Walsh, Massey, Jurger and Ireland, all experienced drivers. I believe Sam Massey took a win in his last race, which wasn't at Buckmore Park last week, but he did put in a fantastic performance at PF International. 3 laps of practice have come to an end. We're going to be waiting for these guys to get into position. Obviously only 3 laps of practice, but in a track like this, some drivers won't be very familiar. They might have fallen back much more from where they are meant to be starting at the end of this lap. And I'm happy to say that Mr. Mather is back, and I think he's got some news from the Spreadsheet of Doom.
Spreadsheet of Doom.
Dun, dun,
It's
dun.
time for, well, this is what the scores look like at the halfway stage of round 5. Surprise, surprise, the leaders are Coventry A. On 115 points, so it's quite tight at the top. Cambridge A are on 114. Brooks A are on 114 as well. Brooks B 112. Sheffield A 111. Loughborough A 109, so still all to play for. UEA also doing quite well, second highest clubman team at the moment on 107. Birmingham the third highest clubman team on 97. So very, very finely poised to see who's going to take the win here at Glan Gors in North Wales, just off the A5 for the round 5 of this year's championship.
I think we might be good for a race start. Wait for Pushcart Johnny to give the special secret signal.
So here we go then. Max Wade and Nathaniel Gollin set us off then for race number 4 here at Glan Gors. Very even start at the front of the grid, and Aidan Lee's looking for a route up the inside for Oxford Brooks C as they go up to the Spoon Corner for the first time on this one. There's a bit of pushing towards the back of the field, and the number 26, Michael Grieve, is wide and on the grass and has recovered really well there as they go through for the first time. It looks like Leeds fighting. Is that Jack Fisher in the lead? It is! It's Jack Fisher leads. How has he done that? He's come from P5 on the grid. Now, do not throw it away this time. Jack has led in the BUKC before. That's the 3-4 wide behind him. Run, Jack. Run for your life, boy. But that's one of the most sensational starts that I've seen this year.
It's a Jack 1-2 as it's Jack O'Toole who has come through from Kingston A. So fantastic starts for both of them. I think we were about 5 wide at certain points during that start, and we've got to spin around, and there's a bit of contact there. Can't quite tell you who that is, and we've got another car off coming out of the S's section. So as we come round to the start the second lap, it is Jack Fisher leading from Jack O'Toole. Birmingham C are in 3rd place. We have Exeter A in 4th, and it's now got what we've got now. We've got the 11th of Oxford Brooks C having a go on. So it's Aidan Lee, Mr.
Henry
Karting.
Jackson coming through as well in the number 9, really aggressive there. He started P13 on the grid. There's a spinner in the midfield as well as they go through Spoon Corner, but the 2 Jacks, 2 of the most popular guys in the paddock, fighting at the front here. Fisher versus O'Toole as Jackson's trying to go around the outside. And here's Mr. Karting. Konstantinos through and into the lead for Exeter A. They need a big result in this race for their championship. Jack O'Toole has got through as well. So the brave defence of Jack Fisher in the lead there has been broken. He did lead a lap of the BUKC. That was a really, really good start for him, and he's still in it there in 3rd place. Crowd penalty! Straight in us. What have you done there? And that's a win out the window straight away for Exeter A, and to say on a day they really, really need the points to keep them in this championship fight as Coventry look to seal it up today. But so now that O'Toole, Kingston A's driver, is now your net leader, but he's poor off of Spoon Corner. Is Jack Fisher going to go down the inside? No, Cambridge A have a penalty as well. Sam Massey. So we'll check what that was for in a moment, but what a pulsating start to this race here at Glan Gors. It's a bump and pass penalty for Cambridge A. And the number 11, Aidan Lee, Oxford Brook C, still in there. Birmingham C's driver is Max Wade. I think this is the one race where they do actually count for points in this round.
But we didn't see what exactly happened between James Bumet, Jack Fisher, and up the inside now goes Henry Jackson on Jack Fisher. Jack Fisher, a bit of a bump there, and now Aidan Lee is trying to have a go as well, but Jack Fisher defends off well. Bit of contact in there. There might be a little penalty coming through. We'll see what happens. But now we're looking for Aidan Lee. He's surely going to be past Jack Fisher any moment now. He needs to make progress. This is not the time to work together. He needs to make progress in order to have any chance of winning this race. At the moment, your de facto leader is Jack O'Toole in the Kingston A car, as Mr. Konstantinos, so good they named him twice, is leading the race on the track but has a cone penalty.
Michael Grieve, very quick in the Manchester A car, did just hold the fastest lap of the race, but Konstantinos has taken that back, to look out for the number 26. Also, just to look at a little bit further down, Ami Jurger coming through for Sheffield A, now up to P21, started P31, and James Ireland trying to come through as well, although he's not quite making as much progress. He's there in 27th for Loughborough from the back of the field.
Should point out there was a lot of contact on that first lap. We weren't able to talk about all of it. Sam Massey was forced onto the grass coming out of turn 1. And also Michael Grieve we saw running actually properly onto the grass. So the fact he is still in this race at all, running very well in sixth place, very good pace as well, is a true testament to him.
Jack Fisher doing a fantastic job here, holding himself at the front of this field on a day. Well, we've already seen good results for the Leeds A team. They are in the fight for the Clubman's Trophy. Where are some of their rivals in the Clubman's Trophy? Well, Birmingham A are currently in 15th in this race, and Brighton I don't think are in this one. We'll see them in race 5 and race 6, but up to Spoon Curve again. Aidan Lee down the inside. That's a beautiful overtake by Aidan Lee. Can he keep it all together side by side as they come down the hill now with Snowden to their right? No, Jack Fisher fights back, retakes the position. Aidan Lee slingshots it down into Carousel. If he's made that move, that is a superb effort, and he has. Really good stuff from the Oxford Brook C driver. Fisher was a little bit wide. This is the problem now. The dry line is there, but you get off it and you get in a lot of trouble very quickly. Michael Grieve now throws one down the inside. Very nice through Devil's Elbow. Takes the opportunity. So that's Manchester A up to 5th, Brook C up to 4th, Leeds A down to 6th.
Should point out as well, talking of fights through the field, obviously we've got Ami Jurger, we've got Sam Massey, but the leader of that battle is Oxford Brooks A. Piers Packenham Walsh coming right from the back of the grid, now finds himself in 9th place. So he is firmly in the fight in this race as well.
Clash between Brighton A and Huddersfield B. Brighton A falling down through the order. Huddersfield B have been given a black flag. So that's not good news. So sorry, Brighton A are in this race and they're in trouble. So that's not good news for the team fighting for the championship in Clubman's. Meanwhile, this is your effective battle for the lead as Jack O'Toole runs wide as we cut to him and Henry Jackson is through. The pressure has told. Classic Henry Jackson. He is so good at this, applying that pressure to drivers in front, making them crack, making them make a mistake, and the former heavyweight drivers champion in the BUKC is into the effective lead once penalties are applied.
Penalty for Nottingham Trent B, as Mr. Konstantinos has set the fast lap of the race, but even when overtaking Jack O'Toole on that lap, Mr. Henry Jackson has set a 50.8, so only 4/10 of a second slower than Konstantinos. They are in fact on the same bit of straight together. So whilst Konstantinos has been relatively untroubled coming through the start of this race, he hasn't pulled out as much of a gap as you might expect. And I think we do have to give massive credit to Jack O'Toole in the Kingston B car. He was optimistic at the start, and it obviously was the de facto leader for a while, and I think he's doing a very good job in that Kingston car, and also the leader in the Clubman's for the moment.
And Kingston, a team not completely out of it in Clubman's competition, and this will be almost like a bit of a pep talk to the other drivers to say, come on, we've got something here today that we can do well with. Black flag for Loughborough A. Now that's James Ireland. That is for a takeout. He had worked his way up to 20th place. So who's fallen down the order?
There's a car, sorry Andrew, there is a car just before the boggy, grassy bit of death.
Yellow flags out as they go into the carousel. I think this is the incident that you were talking about.
Yes.
Might be Coventry D, because they've not come round for a while.
I think it might be Queen Mary A. They've dropped 5 places.
What this has all done, though, it's all bunched up here as... was it the leader? Was it Konstantinos? Was it the number 5
No.
with the yellow helmet?
I don't think...
I think it might be. I think that is the number 5 coming
Yes,
around
it
the corner
is.
just behind in shot. Yes, it was. So X to A, is this the point at which their championship challenge falls apart? They were in 3rd place, but they've now had 2 bad races here. Down, well, I say that, but down to P10, they've still got a lot of work to do. We're looking at the fight now for 4th place. It's Pierce, Packen and Walsh, I think, fighting it. There's a back marker getting slightly in the way there. Michael Green fighting through, and I think Packen and Walsh has got past Leeds A's Jack Fisher. Yes, he has. So Pierce, Packen and Walsh has come from 29th on the grid. That's ridiculous. What a drive from Packen and Walsh, and now he's all over the back of Michael Green. But this is the Oxford Brooks that we like to see, the fighting Oxford Brooks, the aggressive Oxford Brooks that come through the field and get these kind of results. They saw a good one early with Carl Morby, and now at the inside goes Packen and Walsh through turn 1, takes 3rd place. Brilliant stuff from Piers, Packen and Walsh, and that's him now through past Michael Green. Who's his next target? Well, his next target will be Jack O'Toole for Kingston A. Meanwhile, he's got backup as well. All 4 Oxford Brooks teams are in this top 8 at the moment. This is where, well, I've got to say, we've not seen this for a while. I've been slightly critical of the Brooks teams at times, that they take points off one another, but clearly they've got behind the A team now. That is their championship charge, and they are fighting for every single point.
If only they had the common decency to do it A, B, C, D. It's A, B, D, C. It's just not. It's just not acceptable.
It's not pleasing.
No, absolutely not. You do have to wonder if they hadn't been focusing so much on their memes, would they be further up in this championship? Who knows? No points for mediocre memes in the BUKC, but Oxford Brooks doing a fantastic job in this race. They are certainly. I think we might have slightly lost live timing here, but we'll move on from that for the moment. There's a back marker getting out of the way. It's Adam Sears. He was yes, he was the driver who was stuck up just before the boggy pit of death through there. But yes, no, fantastic there from Piers, Packen and Walsh. Currently now, obviously, in 3rd place. And we're now seeing side by side, it is the Oxford Brooks B driver having a go at Michael Green, but Green defends well. Oxford Brooks B running a little bit wide there, so this is going to bring the... Actually, no, sorry, it is the Oxford Brooks D car. Sorry, it's the Oxford Brooks D car who are there. Okay, live timing has returned. There's a penalty for Oxford Brooks C. Aidan Lee has picked up a penalty somewhere in there. As Piers, Packen and Walsh sets the fastest lap of the race by a fair way, by a couple of attempts. Contact running for Loughborough A. So the race reshaping itself as we just regained live timing. So it is who's in the Oxford Brooks D car? It's Callum Porter, who now sends it down the inside of Michael Grebe into Spoon Corner. So it will now be Brooks A from Brooks D. It's a fantastic race here for the Brooks D car, who find themselves firmly in the bottom. They're not even in the top 20, but this will do them massive favours going forward in the season. Oxford Brooks B now the next challenger to Michael Grebe.
The other thing here is, say, Coventry A have been having a relaxed day so far. They're not in this race. They're in races 5 and 6. But this will just start to put the pressure on, because we have been in this position before. I think back to Loughborough in 2017 when they had a good lead into round 5 and nearly won the championship. Well, we were in a good position going into round 6. Had the chance to win it there and then. Missed out. They still won the championship, of course, that year. But this is when the pressure really starts to apply in the BUKC, as teams start to have the end goal in sight.
Brooks A, Piers, Packen and Walsh took about almost a second out of Jack O'Toole on that last lap. So the move for second place will be coming any moment now, you would have to imagine. Meanwhile, in the battle for 5th place, Michael Grebe still holding on in front of the Brooks B driver, Callum James. These guys actually all started, the Brooks teams all started higher up this race, so they had the slightly dodgy starts here and there. We have that massively chaotic start with about 5 wide from Carousel, as what we've got now.
Change for second.
Change for second place. So Piers, Packen Walsh now in front of Jack O'Toole, but Jack O'Toole is having a look down the inside into turn 2, but thinks better of it and falls back into 3rd place. So that move was done before this new lap started, and Piers, Packen Walsh will now set Henry Jackson in his sights. There's 6 seconds between himself and the lead kart. Will we see a challenge for the lead with just less than halfway, just as we've just gone past the halfway point?
You've got to think a driver of Henry's talents, it'd be a big effort from Pierce, Packard and Walsh to pull back in 6.5 seconds in that amount of time. And just as, oh my goodness, 49.999 and off the road there.
I think that might be Trinity A.
Yes, I think you might be right. It's Ben Gilbert, it's Ben Gilbert, Trinity A, who's off the road there. That's unfortunate for them. They were in 16th place. Fastest lap has just come in from Cambridge A, 49.756. So that's up at Spoon Corner that Gilbert has had that problem. Who we got in for Cambridge A? It's Sam Massey, of course, isn't it, coming from the back of the grid. Jack O'Toole, this will be a big result still if you can hold that third place. Oxford Brooks D behind in 4th place now. It's Callum Porter driving for them. There's Michael Grebe trying to get past one of the back markers. It's Huddersfield B in the number 29 kart, currently not having the best of races, unfortunately. 10 minutes to go. What's the pace like? 50. Ooh, a little bit of time lost there for Henry Jackson. Now this is going to be the challenging bit of the race as Michael Grebe tries to fight past the back marker who doesn't realise that the leaders are coming through. That is going to compromise Grebe, and now Brooks B are going to attack. And Konstantinos is going to attack. 3 wide up the Dragon Straight. This is brilliant. Aidan Lee's in there as well. And Paul Michael Grebe, because of the back marker, has lost 3 positions there.
Fantastic stuff there. 3 abreast coming into the second corner. Michael Grebe, the unfortunate recipient of several overtakes there. Mr. Konstantinos, so good that named him twice, is now back up into, I'm going to say he's at least 5th, possibly 4th. There's a penalty for Oxford Brooks B. Now this, unfortunately, was the story of Oxford Brooks B's race last time out at Buckmore Park. They just kept on picking up penalties, kept on picking up little warnings here and there that they didn't need to, and as we now see another penalty as well for Loughborough C. But Oxford Brooks B, they are up there, but they now find themselves with a penalty. It's a contact penalty, and that will be at least a place, as the penalty for Loughborough C was an ABC bump and pass.
You're saying about getting too excited, mate. I've got so excited I broke a big chair.
How
That's
dare
not
you?
good. 9 minutes of this one to go, and can Konstantinos pull back through? He gets past another one of the back markers there in the number 5, so all of a sudden Exeter A's race is starting to come back to them. That's them up to 5th place. Oxford Brooks B, as we mentioned, they've got a penalty. Did we mention it's for contact, mate?
Yes, we did. Yes,
Yep.
we did. We could also just remind everyone as well that Exeter A have a penalty. They have a cone penalty.
Yes, good point.
So he was in the lead of this race, was Mr. Karting, but he wouldn't have won it. And so at the moment he's not finishing where he is. As Oxford Brooks D now find themselves in front of Jack O'Toole in for 3rd place. So that's a move that's happened on that lap. Meanwhile, a little bit further down.
Change for second. Yep. Change for second there. Oxford Brooks D now ahead, sorry, James, of Jack O'Toole.
No.
That was already for 3rd. Apologies. So Brooks D up to 3rd ahead of Kingston A. Penalty, is that a new penalty for Oxford Brooks B?
I think that might be the same.
No, it's the same.
No,
it's another one. It's another one. So 2 contact penalties now for Oxford Brooks B. That might demote them out the top 10 once those are all tallied up.
Real shame that at one point we did have it as a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Oxford Brooks teams.
Clubman's we haven't talked about in a while, as we're having a look there at the number 19 Oxford Brooks D kart. Leeds A still there in 10th. Birmingham A, crucially, up to 12th. And I'm just going to check, the Birmingham C kart in 11th place on the road is ineligible. So there's a good result at the moment for both of those teams, starting to take charge in that class. Is there rain as well?
I've just, on the camera up at Spoon, I did see some rain on the lens, and it has got a little bit greyer around here at GYG in the heart of North Wales. But at the moment, what the lap times are, they've fallen away a little bit, only a small amount, but that is something to bear in mind. There is definitely rain around, but yes, we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, in the battle for 8th place, we are following, so here's Michael Grebe. So we've got Sam Massey, who has got a penalty. I think he has got an ABC bump and pass penalty, so that's 4 places for him. He is getting interested in the back of Michael Grebe. but at the moment we're switching back to, we've got Jack O'Toole heading through in 4th place. Now here we go. This is a massive battle. We've got Oxford Brooks B, Callum James in front of Konstantinos, so good they named him twice, who's in front of Aidan Lee, but Aidan Lee looking down the inside of Konstantinos, and now Aidan Lee finds himself back up into 6th place. There is no, as far as we are aware, Oxford Brooks C have got no penalty. The 49 of Trinity B gets out of the way. Well done, that man. But at the moment, you will see Oxford Brooks C are benefiting from. They are. I think they have not got a penalty, but the two that he is racing, B and Exeter A, have got penalties. Meanwhile, now Michael Grebe interested in the back of Konstantinos, so good they named him twice, but at the same time, and there goes Michael Grebe trying it down the inside. Konstantinos goes off, and now Sam Massey gets involved as well. Sam Massey demoting Exeter A further down, so Exeter A, Konstantinos finding himself in 9th place, and there's another big gaggle of cars behind, as I'm pretty sure the rain is coming down, because you can see it at the top of this track at the very least. The system has come in, and you can almost see the rain on your camera, on your pictures at the moment.
Lap time starting to fall, people putting jackets on around the circuit. I think you're right, James, it is just drizzling a little bit, and that'll make things uncertain for the leaders, because normally this is when the different level and the different degrees of talent out there start to show. The back markers become more tricky to get by as well. They get a little bit more unpredictable. Oh, the rain definitely has come. 53.3 last time around. There was a change of position there as Sam Massey got through past Michael Grebe. So Cambridge now ahead of Manchester. Well, yeah, that was for 7th position. So that was good. But yeah, the back markers become a little bit more edgy and unaware. And how does that go through your head when you're a driver at this level?
Well, I can speak from experience, having obviously won my race at the intermediates last time out.
Did you?
I did. Did I not mention that? Yeah, no. Dealing with back markers is a proper part of racing when you are at the front of the grid. You've got to realise that they are probably that their talent in these conditions, at the very least, will be probably a bit worse than yours. I don't like using that word, but that is the case of the point. And so you've just got to be careful with it. The gap between the top two has come down since Piers Packham-Walsh took 2nd place. It stands, we're waiting for Packham-Walsh cross line, so it stands at 4 seconds. They are the lap beforehand. I think Packham-Walsh went about 100th of a second faster than Henry Jackson, as now Oxford Brooks B have made a move on Jack O'Toole. So Jack O'Toole falling down the order. We've almost got an Oxford Brooks 2, 3, 4, 5. We just need to wait for Aidan Lee to get past Jack O'Toole. And again, we should point out, as now we pick up the battle between Jack O'Toole. So Jack O'Toole has fallen down the order massively somewhere, and it's now Aidan Lee. Sam Massey has now got in front of the Oxford Brooks C team. But remember, he has a penalty. Konstantinos, so good they named him twice, has also got a penalty. Aidan Lee, as far as we're aware, does not have a penalty. As now we've got an overtake there from the 20, was that the 29?
Who's a couple of laps
There's a black flag for Jack O'Toole. Oh no, what's that for?
It's for a takeout, so obviously someone trying to spot who's falling down through the order. Can't see anyone at the moment. Oh, now I can see someone. No, that is Kingston A falling down through the order.
Yes,
Not quite sure who they've
fallen
knocked
down.
off.
We'll
Might be a back
out.
marker that they've had contacts with there. Contact warning for the number 14. So yes, a bit of confusion there as to what's happened. But down the inside, brilliant move by Sam Massey. Fantastic. Takes 4th place away from Oxford Brooks B's Callum James. This is decisive stuff from Massey. But James fights back into the carousel, side by side again. Really good, strong return there from Oxford Brooks B. And again, they're just swarming together now. The number 11 of Oxford Brooks C is still in there. Where's the D team in all of this? I think they were a little bit down the road as Massey cuts down the inside again, retakes the position for Cambridge A into Devil's Elbow. Down through this almost like ski slope part of the section as you flick the cart left, right, over start finish. There's a little shake of the head from Massey. I think that's for a contact warning he's just received. We should remind ourselves, yeah, there's penalties involved in all of this, isn't there, James?
Yes, there are. So where I've been saying throughout the race Aidan Lee doesn't have a penalty, turns out he does have a penalty.
Oh, back down the inside, Callum James retakes the position away from Sam Massey, who's not too happy about that being overtaken. Konstantinos now on the rear of him, but is it both the B and the C teams have penalties in this one?
Yep, B have got 2 contact penalties, C team have got a bump and pass penalty, and then Konstantinos has got a He's got no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Konstantinos has got a cone penalty. Sam Massey has
Got back through it again.
There's another penalty for Oxford Brookes B. There's another penalty for Oxford Brookes B.
Bumper pass.
And that's a significant one. So that's at least six places worth of penalties. So, yeah, not good for the B team, unfortunately. Great racing out on track, but unfortunately just getting a little bit too
aggressive for race control's
yes.
liking.
Yes.
Massey covers the inside, and oh, that's lovely. That is very nice from Konstantinos. Saw the gap. Callum James just dithered a little bit there, and Konstantinos took the chance. The rain, I think, has stopped because the lap times have come back down into the 50 point somethings. Just over a minute, or just under a minute, sorry, to go. Lead is not done yet. It's 2.3 seconds as the leader comes over start finish. This might be the last lap. Still scrapping around. Massey and Konstantinos fighting through compression, and somehow Konstantinos has fought his way through all of that. Now the Brookes carts are going to gang up on Sam Massey. He's not too happy about this. Michael Green's got the best seat of the house at the moment, although he has just got a curb warning.
It's also worth pointing out, Michael Green, I think, is of all these 5 drivers you can see on your screen, he is the one that is going to be finishing in front of all of them, because as the penalties get applied, if you can get closer to contact there between Aidan Lee and Sam Massey, and we'll see what the stewards make of that one. But Michael Green has got back now past Sam Massey. Fantastic little bit of racing going on here. We're looking for the leader across the line, so we're going to start the final lap any moment now. There we go. Right, so we are on to the final lap. It is currently Konstantinos leading in this battle, 4th place. Konstantinos leads from Callum James, who then leads from I think it's Michael Grebe, then Aidan Lee, then Sam Massey. But all 4 of those drivers have penalties. It's only Michael Grebe without the penalty at the moment.
And he's just got up to 6th place. But let's talk about this driver here. Moved across the city. He's no longer a Nottingham Trent driver, now a University of Nottingham driver. But it hasn't affected his speed at all. This has been a classic Henry Jackson drive here in the 2nd heavyweight heat of the day. Race 4, and a big bunch of points, a big 60 points for Nottingham. There's a bit of traffic ahead of him, but there's the number 7 of Pierce Packen and Walsh, who has also had a brilliant race, but has not caught him. Henry Jackson takes the win for Nottingham A. 60 points to them, but a big 59 points goes to Oxford Brookes A. How important is that for the competition here today? Oxford Brookes D are 3rd, Exeter A 4th. This is all with penalties involved in here, so this is very provisional. 4th will be Exeter A, 5th Brookes B, 6th Cambridge A, 7th Manchester C, 8th. In fact, Manchester A have fallen down along with Manchester A have fallen off. Manchester A have not come across the line here and are falling down through the odd. There is Michael Grebe, the number 26, so something happened there on the last lap in that big mix of karts that was carrying some penalties. So in the end, it's Cambridge A 6th, Brookes C 7th, Birmingham C 8th, but they're ineligible. Big result for Jack Fisher there. 9th, which will be an 8th. And now, what's going on here? Was there a bit of an afters there between Pierce Packen and Walsh and Sam Massey? We don't like to see that. And no, they're going again now. But Sam Massey, who has had a history with Brookes drivers in the past.
Well, not another one.
Yes. There may be some words after. Good drive as well from Jake O'Sullivan there. You just saw the number 4. Great captain's drive there from Jake. That's huge in Clubman's.
And another driver we should mention, someone who could have featured massively in this race, but unfortunately fell by the wayside earlier on. James Bumet is actually finished in 12th place, and with all the penalties that are going to be applied, who knows?
Could be top 5.
Could be. He could win the race as far as we're concerned. But something massive happened to Michael Grebe there. No, we didn't see it on camera. We didn't see it on track. We'll see if there are any further penalties to be applied. What I would say, if you're looking at live timing, this result is the most provisional probably of the season so far.
Yes. Do hope you're enjoying the stream. If you haven't already subscribed to the Alpha Life YouTube channel, please do so now. Give them a like on Facebook. We've got a lovely little thing that tells us how many people are interacting. So 3,256 people have liked the Instagram page, for example, for Alpha Live. So if we can get that up to 3,300, that'd be nice. If you enjoyed the commentary as well, myself, Andrew Mather and James Jonestone from Rich T Racing in the box. Double Dash Motorsport Media, your providers of commentary here today at Glan Gors. I'm looking out for a Mr. Harris. I can see him just about through the railings, but I don't think he's got any drivers with him yet. So I hope it's because drivers are just with the teams and not having discussions amongst themselves, because we do want to hear the thoughts of Henry Jackson. In fact, I just see Henry's been going over to be weighed, so we'll be a moment or two before we talk to Henry. That was a classic Henry Jackson drive. We've seen him do it so many times over the years, James. He just excels in these conditions, and he goes about his racing in the right way, in my book.
Absolutely, yes. He benefited massively at the start, just kept it clean, whilst other drivers were falling away.
We've got a weigh-in, mate.
We have got a weigh-in, so this already incredibly provisional fit race finish becomes even further provisional. We will wait to see if there are any disqualifications, but I believe we are good to go with Mr. Jacob Harris, who is with our race winner, Henry Jackson.
We're down here with race winner Henry Jackson. I say with. He's keeping his distance. Henry, it's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah, most of the time I've been starting further back.
So I'm starting to think you're avoiding me.
Never. I'd never do that. But yeah, normally I've been starting kind of mid-pack and trying to work my way forward. But yeah, I just got a really good start, I think. And yeah, I saw Piers catching me.
I was about to say, could you see him over his shoulder?
Yeah, every lap I was taking a quick look out at the carousel, and it's like, right, he's catching by what, a tenth of a second a lap or two tenths a lap. So I knew I had the gap, but yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking, especially when the rain started.
I was going to say, changing conditions proved tricky for a few throughout the pack, but you managed them quite well.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was weird because it got wet for about 3 laps, and then all of a sudden it started drying up, and I think a lot of people still thought it was wet. And yeah, just started taking dry lines again and drove through.
There it is. Just drive the dry lines when it's dry and you'll go fast.
Essentially, yeah, basically.
A top tip there from Henry Jackson. Henry, congratulations on the win.
Cheers, buddy.
Henry Jackson there of Nottingham University. Our drivers are currently weighing themselves over here, making sure that they are all up to our heavyweight weight limit of 82 kilos. I would try and grab someone else. In fact, we can wander over this way, can't we, Darren? Let's go have a quick chat with Piers Pryor before this one. Guys, we can't talk to them over there, but we can talk to you over here. So, Piers, where are you starting in this one?
17th.
What are you going to do from there?
Don't really know. I'll try and make up some positions, but it's been quite unpredictable today, so we'll see.
You have got a bit of work to do after what Mr. Ireland has just performed.
Yeah. So both Jameses haven't had ideal races, to be honest. Millsy had a bit of a rubbish car and had a bit of an off. James had a number of incidents. Tom did brilliantly. Tom started 17th as well and had a lovely race win, so we'll take that. I'll use Tom as an example. James, they can, they can look to Tom's this round and use that as an example of what to do next time.
Okay, changing conditions out there. It rained about halfway through that one, just started spitting this stop now. What do you like when things get like this?
To be honest, I've only driven GYG once before, and that was at BUKC, what, 3 years ago?
That was 3 years ago.
So, yeah, it was dry then, so I suppose I'll find out when I'm on the track. Don't really know, to be honest, but I'll give it a good go. It should be fun either way.
Henry's just told us that the track dried up again and he was taking dry lines, so that might be where you start and then figure it out as you go along.
Figure it out as I go along is probably, it sounds about accurate, so yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, have you got any tips, mate? So, I know you're not too far from me.
No,
you're like,
South Wales I am. This is a different country, really.
Different country, sorry, mate. Sorry, I didn't really offend you.
We don't really associate with the north.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's fine. Sorry about that, mate. I'm sorry for your loss.
I'll forgive you. You don't know these things. You're not you're not from Wales. You don't understand the intricacies of different regions. I will let you off, Piers. And
did you not have much pull on the fact that we were going to go to Landau this year? Because I know you're a big fan of Landau. It's the ends from you, isn't it?
I'm a bit of a fan of Landau. You know,
Sorry. Landau.
Landau. So you put the tongue to the roof of your mouth and express the double L sound, which is actually a letter in the Welsh alphabet.
Landau.
You got it. Landau. How do you say Glan Gors?
That mean,
That's exactly as you just did, Tom.
I thought it was Glan Gors.
Well, strictly speaking, yeah, the Y is the sound, but it's a very awkward sound to make, and most people do go for the E sound because it kind of sounds a bit more sensible, especially when you're talking English as your first language. But if we were conversing in Welsh, we'd probably go for Glan Gors. Yeah.
Which I could do now that I know how to pronounce a double L. I'm pretty much a Welsh-speaking citizen, right?
We haven't got round to the double F yet. That's also a letter in the Welsh alphabet, so we've got some work to do.
How does that sound?
Like a normal F, really.
So it's not really any different then, is it?
There's two of them.
I've got a race to do, mate, so I might go and sit in the car if that's all right.
You crack on with that, and I'll get lesson 2 ready for you after the one. You are here, but they're about to run off. I was going to have a chat with Felix, is it? Is this Felix? Felix, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. We've had some good results so far, so I'm starting 31st, so I can just send it from the back.
What constitutes a good result for you?
We're aiming for a podium clubman's. Based on Buckmore results, we are on target for a win, but it could be different here. So,
I suggest a visit up to Andrew and his spreadsheet after this, just to see how you are getting on the provisional standings. What can you show us in this race, Felix?
A poor ability to drive in the wet. If it's dry, however, I'll be aiming for a top 15, hopefully. Anything like that would be perfect.
Okay, well, it's splitting on and off. So at the minute, I think you're going to be taking a dry line. That's what Henry Jackson told me, the winner of the last race. But things can change.
Anything what Piers said, I listened to his interview as well. He seemed to reckon it was a dry line, so...
Piers, I had no idea. No, I told him what I just told you about Henry.
Oh, well, I mean, you know it all, so...
I know most.
That's perfect, then. I'll listen to that.
Thanks for talking to us, Felix.
Thank you very much.
Felix Connolly there of UWE, the University of West England. Right, let's see who else is on the grid for this one as they form up. I've seen Joe Fowler on the opposite side of the track. I'll try and grab a quick chat with him for Coventry. But first, let's talk to someone further back. And let's go over this side of the track and talk to Piers, Packen and Walsh, apparently. Who have we got here?
Huh?
Who have we got here?
Dan Burgess.
Dan, where's your helmet?
Away.
What is it with Oxford Brookes drivers and using other people's kit?
It's just fun, isn't it?
It's almost as if you turn out to events with just Piers and Joe Bleakley's kit and you all just make do.
We do.
There you have it.
This suit, Matt Lewis, ex-Brooks member.
Do you have your own stuff?
Somewhere.
You've been doing this for years now, and yet you
started
look
in my own
like
stuff.
you've turned up and just dipped into lost property.
I started in my own stuff, but now, you know.
Got tired of the washing machine.
Yeah, it gets boring after a while. You got to mix it up, keep it, you know, keep it fresh.
No room on the clothes hanger in a student house.
Oh, absolutely not, no.
Fair enough. Thanks for chatting with us.
Cheers.
There you have it. Oxford Brookes do not like doing the washing. Let's have a chat with Nottingham Trent.
Hello.
Who have we got here?
Andrew on.
Andrew.
Hello.
Decent start to the day with Dante in the first race, I believe.
Yeah, he had a good drive, so hoping to capitalise on that and then do well for the rest of the round.
Where are you starting here?
24th.
And where are you going to be after lap 1? Give me a number.
Top 10.
Top 10, and give me an exact number.
7th.
There you have it. This man is going to make up 10 places on the first lap. Andrew, all the best for that.
Thank you very much.
Andrew Wong there of Nottingham Trent University. Let's see who we can pick out for one or two more interviews. We've spoken to Piers. I said I'd talk to Joe, so I'm going to grab him real quick. Out the way, stop shaking hands. Another. I just like talking to you, Joe.
That's good to know.
You always have something nice to say about Sam Spinell.
Yeah, he did pretty rubbish in that early race, didn't he? Only third.
Average, really, by his standards.
But yeah, very average.
What about yourself? What can we expect?
Another top 20, I reckon.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah.
Some good drivers in this one.
Huh?
There's some good drivers in this one, like at least 20 of them.
25 maybe.
Don't get your hopes up, Joe.
Cheers.
Joe Fowler there of reigning champions Coventry. He's definitely one to look out for. Rory Cuff further up the grid might have say in this as well. But now back up to the Coventry box. Andrew, James, talk us through this one.
Thank you, Jacob. Let's have a look at the grid then for race number 5 for round 5 on the BUKC 2020 here from Glan Gors. On pole position for Newcastle B is Carl Knight alongside an ineligible Loughborough D kart. Alex Rees goes for Swansea A on row 2 alongside Sam Baxter for Bath A, looking for another good result. Callum George starts on row 3 for Coventry B alongside Alex Spensley for Exeter B, and it's Rory Cuff going for Exeter A alongside Sam Lovelace from De Montfort A on row 4. Row 5, Benjamin Boris is ineligible in this race for Birmingham C. We've already seen him out today for the A team. He's on that 5th row with Lewis Bracewell for Brooks C. Row 6 is William Stacey for Leeds A, looking for another good result. Good day so far for Leeds. Nathan Little is also on that 6th row for Brighton A, who need a strong result. Joe Fowler thinks maybe he might get a top 20 again. For Coventry A. He starts on row 7 alongside David Macbeth for Warwick C. Oxford are ineligible in this race, but start from row 8 alongside Alessandro Bruzzoni for Warwick B. Piers Pryor goes from row 9. Loughborough A need a good result out of him in this race, and he's got Sam Richardson for company. Very quick driver for Manchester Metropolitan, starting from 18th. He has also got help from Loughborough C, Matthias Reed-Simpson, starting directly behind on row 10 alongside Gary Mangan. So that's Loughborough C and Huddersfield B on that row. Jake Dodd, Sheffield A having a really strong day. This is their last race of the round. He starts on row 11 for Sheffield A alongside Ben Mayo for Bath B. Daniel Burgess goes for Oxford Brooks A, who are currently your leaders in the round. They start on row 12 alongside Andrew Wong for Nottingham Trent A. Towards the back end of the grid then, Leeds B, Robert Starley goes from row 13. Ben Watkin goes for Loughborough B. Row 14 is De Montfort B's Gabriela Martinez De Luca and Birmingham B's Jordan Herman. Row 15, Aaron Walsh for Huddersfield A and Chunto Chan for Aston A. Row 16, Felix Connolly for UEA, another team having a very strong showing here at Glan Gors, 31st on the grid alongside Piers Fairston for Bournemouth A on row 16. And last but not least, a very good driver indeed, driving the Warwick A kart. It is Archie Hobson, bringing up the rear of the field. A few things that we want to talk about from that last race, James.
Yes.
Penalties galore.
Oh boy.
But we do want to give shout-outs to Amy Jurger. Absolutely brilliant drive from her in the Sheffield A kart. And who else did we note as having a strong finish to the race and a drive through the field and keeping clean as well, and not getting any penalties. All 3 Birmingham teams in the top 10 in that last one.
I know, you must be absolutely buzzing about that.
Very happy about that.
Yes, no, there was mad penalties at the end of that race. We completely missed what happened on the final lap between Brooks B, Brooks C and Manchester A. The upshot was that Brooks B got a -1 lap ABC BAP, Brooks C got a -1 lap ABC takeout, and Manchester A, Michael Grebe, was excluded from that race for rejoining the track and causing an incident.
So that has shaken up the order a fair bit. Key race this for Oxford Brooks A. As I say, they've got 173 points on the board. They need a position of 4th or higher in this race to further improve on that. Coventry A are in this race. They start, when did they start? Around 13th, I think it is. Yes, 13th for Joe Fowler. He needs a good result here. This, in the whole context of this championship, James, could be a very, very important 25 minutes.
This is the most important race for Oxford Brooks A, because Joe Fowler and Piers Pryor, they were fantastic in their race at Buckmore last time out. They came through the field together and recorded. I think it was Joe Fowler from Piers Pryor winning the races. If Daniel Burgess has to be on that level today, if he's to not only keep Oxford Brooks A in contention for the win of this race, but to keep Oxford Brooks A in the championship itself.
Some quick drivers towards the back end of the field as well. We're under starters orders then for race 5 here at Glan Gors. Hold on to your hats, I've got a feeling this is going to be a good one. Carl Knight will take us to green as we're off and underway for race number 5. There's a couple of waving hands at the back of the field. Is that a restart? No, it's side by side. Alex Rees has got an absolute flyer here for Swansea A and will lead into Spoon Corner for the first time. The number 25's at the inside as well. It's Callum George for or Sam Baxter's off on the grass. Another driver is off on the grass, but there's been a change for the lead as well as Alex Rees has lost the lead. Who's that who's nipped through? It's the number 39, it's Alex Knight. So Carl Knight gets the lead back there, but a brilliant start there, James, for your former teammate, Mr. Alex Rees.
Didn't go to university with him. I'm more in fact just cheering the fact that Swansea...
Oh, big contact at the cone's been decimated by number 54. And poor Colin is being taken for a ride now. It's Birmingham C. Benjamin Boris, the ineligible kart. And there's now drivers off in Devil's Elbow. It's chaos towards the back end of the field. The number 28 seems to be... well, that was one of the karts that cut across the grass there. He's trying to refine position. Piers Pryor coming through there in the number 2 in the distinctive pink helmet. Joe Fowler's on the move as well in the number 1. Brilliant overtaking being done here. What is that shaken up at as the end of the first lap? Newcastle B lead, Swansea A second, Coventry B third. Sam Lovelace is coming through as well for De Montfort A. He's up to 6th place and now going for 5th place past the ineligible Loughborough D, being followed through by Leeds A and William Stacey. Where have our championship chargers moved to? Coventry A are up to 11th, Loughborough A are up to 14th. Where are Oxford Brooks A? They're up to 16th, decent, moving up through the field. So all the big players are side by side. Yellow flag is out, so Alex Rees will not be able to overtake Carl Knight there. But all the big players, James, still out there on the circuit.
All out there on the circuit, made very good positions. As I mentioned, Daniel Burgess had to make progress at the start there, keep up with Piers Pryor, keep up with Joe Fowler, and at the moment he is doing that. We've got someone falling down the order there, but meanwhile we've got Alex Rees down the inside of Carl Knight into turn 2. Oh, he had a look at it, not quite managing it so far. And this is all bringing Callum George into the equation for the Coventry B team. So this is beautiful to see. And it's now Alex Rees heading down the inside into carousel corner, argy-bargy through there, and all that has led to Callum George now taking the lead in the Coventry B kart. Carl Knight's going to have a look at it into compression. Now as we head down into Devil's Elbow, Alex Rees but firmly onto the back of... contact there from Alex Rees on to Callum George, and all that means that Carl Knight is getting heavily involved. We've now got the number 5 of Exeter A involved as well. So it's a 5-way fight for the lead of this race. Callum George leading from Alex Rees, leading from Carl Knight, leading from Rory Cuff in the Leeds A kart, and then we also have De Montfort A involved as well. Alex Rees very close coming up the Dragon Straight, but he's run a little bit wide through turn 2. Is there going to be an overtaking opportunity from Carl Knight down the inside into Spoon Corner? He has a look at it, but it was just a little bit too late, and this is all going to bring Rory Cuff into it. But we've also got Sam Lovelace in the 16 kart. He's now up into 3rd. So Carl Knight very aggressive. You love to see it, but it has cost him positions. Now we've got the 34 of Leeds A getting involved as well. William Stacey, and we haven't even got on to the fact that Piers Pryor and Joe Fowler are coming up to the back of them as well.
Really good stuff in this one. Remember, Rory Cuff is a mini challenge driver who's raced many other things as well, and a very accomplished circuit racer. Is up the inside. Callum George is forced out there and he's going to lose positions hand over fist. Now he's going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 5 positions as side by side? Rees and Lovelace, and Cuff's going to try and make it 3 wide. That's mental. And Knight's going to try and make it 3 wide now. Who's going to come out of this pointing in the right direction? Are all of them going to be pointing in the right direction? Yes. I cannot believe that. But Lovelace comes out in front. A really, really ballsy bit of driving from everybody out there, and Piers Pryor's involved now as well. You just see him in the middle, and the Oxford Brooks C kart of Lewis Bracewell with the yellow chin and the blue painting on the top of his helmet. Joe Fowler trying to get a top 20. Well, he's doing pretty well, isn't he? He's just nipped out the inside of 3 drivers side by side. Oh, it's contacted. Rees has a half spin. Bracewell just about fights through it as well. This is going to end in tears, surely. Callum George fights back now on Piers Pryor. Joe Fowler cuts the inside. Brilliant Coventry work there. Coventry A get through a couple of positions. Remember, if they win both rounds here today, they have won the BUKC 2 rounds early, which I don't think anyone has ever done, not in recent times at least. But back with the leaders, as Exeter A have fought through to 2nd place. So Sam Lovelace is now your leader. I don't think we'd actually mentioned that in all of that mess, that's what pertained. But Sam Lovelace is the leader for De Montfort A. Clean race for him so far. 2nd for Exeter A, and it's all kicking off through the rest of the top 10.
Should just point out there looked to be a little bit of a nudge from Joe Fowler on Piers Pryor, so we'll watch that. We've also got the sad remains of Colin just through the devil's elbow, so
Yes,
we'll watch
we
that as
have.
well. Meanwhile, it's Carl Knight and Alex Reese now going down the inside of the Oxford Brook C driver, and he's going to try and get him through tower block curb corner. Joe Fowler now getting involved as well. So Joe Fowler has now he's now up in 5th place. Nothing about any sort of contact penalty for Joe Fowler. And oh, there's a driver off. I think that is the Oxford Brook C driver there, heading onto the grass, coming out of turn 2. And now it is Piers Pryor and the Leeds A driver. Yes, it is Leeds A. They're now coming up to the back of Callum George. And so Joe Fowler now back in front of Alex Reese. He's got Carl Knight is his next target. So Joe Fowler currently penalty for Coventry A. I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's a Coventry A. It's more than just contact. It is a bump and pass ABC penalty. That is 4 places. You mentioned in the last race, Andrew.
Oh, it's going to be a takeout. That might be a black flag. What did we say about pressure? At this stage of the season, this is the first time that Coventry A have looked vulnerable throughout the whole year, and there it is. Black flag straight away from race control. I have to say that's absolutely a spot-on decision. And Joe Fowler, he's got to fight now to get a top 20 because he's going to have to come into the pits, stop for a number of seconds and be out of the running for this race.
And can I just point out, through all this, the man I said who had to make sure he kept out of trouble, Daniel Burgess in the Oxford Brooks A car, is up into 9th place. He is just at the back of this of this massive train of Loughborough A. We've got Bath A, Leeds A. So Brooks A, he is now in front of. We'll wait for confirmation across the line.
Just say, mention Sam Baxter in there in the 31, having an absolutely storming race here, going toe-to-toe with Piers Pryor. Bath A, well, the whole Bath team have been a revelation this year in the BUKC. Winners of the 2nd Division Inters competition last year have stepped up into the Prems, and they're showing that they truly belong at this level at the front of the BUKC. Here we go, up the Dragon Straight once again. 34 Leeds A leading 25 Coventry B. So there's been some change there early in this stage of the race as Daniel Burgess goes down the inside of Callum George, takes another position away. Remember, Brooks A need to get into 4th or higher to improve the score of 173 that they've already got secured, virtue of a 5th, a 3rd and a 2nd through their first 3 races here today.
Brilliant stuff from Daniel Burgess. We will wait to see exactly where everyone is placed at the moment. But there's a bit of contact there between
Brighton A, the number 22.
Brighton A, and it is getting absolutely it's pandemonium heading through the S, through tower block curve corner. The 73 of we'll wait to find out. 73 of Loughborough D, so they're ineligible. We're not so focused on them. They overtake Brighton A.
One's in. Coventry A, Joe Fowler in for his penalty and underway again. But you'll see Coventry A drop down the order the next time we get an update of timing. I think he's going to fall down to about, I'd say, 25th position.
So is he going to get the top 20?
He could get the top 20 still. He could get his target, but in terms of getting good points, we should still say Coventry have got a good grid position for the final race of the day. Oh my goodness, it's nearly 4 wide coming out of Carousel, involving a number of top running karts there. The number 8 of Huddersfield A is involved. What are we looking at here? This is Oxford Brooks A now ahead of Leeds A. That's 8th place then for Daniel Burgess. This is another fighting drive from another Brooks driver. Here's your leader, Sam Lovelace. Very nicely up at the front, but there is Rory Cuff, as you say, James. Really, really pushing hard and has set the fastest lap of the race at 50.310.
Should also mention now that Swansea A will be in 3rd place. A lot of argy-bargy for Alex Reese. All he wanted to do in that race was lead a lap, but he couldn't quite manage it. But he's taken on 3rd place. Just sort of
new penalty for Coventry A, bump and pass. It's really not going well from this one. They have fallen to the bottom of the order.
Is that not the same?
No, it's a new penalty.
It's a new penalty, right? Okay, so it is what you were saying earlier, Andrew. It is that thing of pressure.
We've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen before. You get to this stage of the season and you think, yeah, Team X has got this under control. And things can change in the BUKC so quickly. And there's going to put a lot of pressure now. I think it'll be Rayan Williams driving out for them in the next race, because we've seen Tom Fox, we've seen Sam Spinale. But yeah, this is going to be a real test of the mettle of Coventry A. Reigning champions, they've been here before. But can they close this one out to get a good result in race number 5? De Montfort A leading the race then. How's their day been so far? It's been pretty good. They've had 2 15ths so far, weren't in races 3 and 4, so this is their 3rd race of the day, so a little bit down the order in terms of points. If Sam Lovelace can close out the win here, still 15 minutes of this race to go. Piers Pryor has just set the fastest lap of the race as well, at 49.497. The driver will be in the BRDC Formula 3 Championship this year, was testing at Silverstone last week, as up the inside of a back market goes... is that another penalty for Coventry? So here is your battle for 3rd place. Alex Rees in the black and orange suit, and Piers Pryor just behind him there in the number 2. This is Swansea A versus Loughborough A. 2 Premier teams going at it. Clubman, by the way, Leeds A are your current leaders on the road of the Clubman teams. 2nd are Warwick B, 3rd are Warwick C. Penalty for Huddersfield A. Where are they at the moment? They're down in 14th place, and it's an FDW. I'm not quite sure what that... forced driver wide. Forced driver wide, so crowding out another driver, Huddersfield A. So that's a penalty for them, but we'll keep an eye on this battle for 3rd place. Piers Pryor, has he got a run out of turn 1? Long run up the Dragon Straight, up over the top of the hill. Can he get to the inside? He's looking to the inside into Spoon Corner, and he's got the move fantastically done. Classic Piers Pryor, clean as a whistle, up to 3rd.
Brilliant there from Piers Pryor. He didn't have to force that. It just naturally came to him. He was going about 4 tenths of a second faster per lap than Alex Rees in the Swansea A car, and he now finds himself in P3, 4 seconds to the leader. We're just a little bit before the halfway point of this race. So what can Piers Pryor do for the remainder? I should also point out that Oxford Brookes A in front of Leeds A, and they are lapping. They're actually going a little bit slower than Bath A in front of them at the moment, so we'll watch that closely, because obviously what we need to see Oxford Brookes A in 4th if they are to take the win in this round.
Someone's just emerged from the pit lane. I didn't see anyone having a black flag, so I'm not quite sure what that was. I think it's De Montfort B. Yes. It might be De Montfort B who are some 11 laps off the lead. Joe Fowler's just set the fastest lap of the race, but unfortunately he's down in 32nd. So this really is the first time of the season Coventry A have not had it go their way. So this hopefully will just be their drop score, and history won't say too much about this race for Coventry A, but it puts a lot of pressure on their final driver in the final race of round 5, which will be straight up after this on your Alpha Live Productions stream. Here we're looking at Carl Knight, Newcastle B. I think this is all over about 9th place, with Huddersfield A and Loughborough B in there as well. There's just been a penalty coming for BUKC C for contact, and a contact warning as well.
They are in this battle.
Sorry, James. Just to mention, Archie Hobson started from the back of the grid. He's up into the top 20 now for Warwick A. So great driving there from Archie. Took a good result at qualifiers at the very start of the year. It's been a quiet year so far for Warwick A, but so far this morning, I think this has been one of their best showings of the season. Here's Gabriela Martinez de Luca. Change for the lead. That's a change for the lead. Rory Cuff is now ahead of Sam Lovelace, but Sam Lovelace is now up alongside. He's going to retake the lead away from Rory Cuff, so that must have been in traffic there that Rory Cuff got to the front, but it was only momentarily. And Cuff now attacking right on the rear bumper of Sam Lovelace. Sam Lovelace goes defensive into Spoon Corner, showing all that experience that he's got around this circuit and driving for this De Montfort team. Rory Cuff trying there, James, to indicate to Lovelace to keep eyes forward.
Yes, absolutely. I think Rory Cuff had been gaining on Lovelace throughout this race, and yes, so obviously we saw Rory Cuff over in front, but I think it was Gabriel Martinez de Luca who got in the way, allowing Lovelace to get back in front, and they are line astern as they come to complete another lap. So heading across the start-finish line through turn 1, who has got the best drive coming up the Dragon Straight? Lovelace going defensive originally, trying to break the toe really up this straight. It's such a long straight, you probably will be able to get a toe through in these karts. And Lovelace going defensive once again into Spoon. That will compromise him on exit through the carousel. And a lovely switchback there from Rory Cuff. He has a look at it. Oh, that was nearly absolutely fantastic, but Lovelace was equal to it. Penalty for Sheffield A, and now look who's there. It's Piers Pryor. So as these two are fighting away Piers Pryor, and it has to be said, Alex Rees still in this as well.
Got to say, this has got championship implications as well, because I know I said X-Terrain's challenge was done. They win this race, they'll finish on 173 points. BUKC we've been talking about, they're already on 173 points and needing to finish 4th or higher to further improve that score. If they don't, and X-A win the race, X-A will beat them on tiebreaker in this round, and that will be worth a championship point that could be so crucial for not just those two teams, but the other teams, the Loughborough A's, the Coventry A's involved in there as well. So we'll keep an eye on that one, and all the while, as you say, that's a bad place to have a spin there for one of our drivers. That's why Piers Pryor had his hand up there. But Loughborough A as well, if Loughborough A could nip through and take the win, again, they'll be taking points off each other and playing into the hands, I think, of Coventry A.
It all depends on how Piers Pryor and Rory Cuff work together. That is absolutely key, because Coventry A are completely out of this particular race. If those two trip up over each other, then that is exactly what Coventry want. Meanwhile, Lovelace going defensive once again down the Dragon Straight. Rory Cuff looking like he's a lot more interested. And now here comes Piers Pryor. Piers Pryor down the inside of Rory Cuff,
wow.
and he's just picked up the pieces. Fantastic move there from Piers Pryor. He's now got the leader in his sights. And I'm just going to say this right now. Swansea A not out of this race at all.
No.
For the lead. If these three start tripping up over each other, if contact penalties happen, as we saw with Joe Fowler on Piers Pryor earlier, you never know. We could be seeing a Swansea victory, but we've just seen Piers Pryor going down the inside of Sam Lovelace. So Piers Pryor now in the lead, and now Alex Rees getting involved as well. Rory Cuff back up into second, and Rees now makes it into third place. So as they come across the line, only half a second separates the top four. Piers Pryor now out in the lead. What can Rory Cuff do? Piers Pryor goes first. Alex Rees down the inside into turn 2. So Alex Rees in the Swansea car takes second place. Rory Cuff is going to fight him. Alex Rees round the outside. Rory Cuff is going to have a decent drive out of Spoon. But now here comes Sam Lovelace down the inside towards the carousel on Rory Cuff. Rory Cuff gets the switchback out of that corner. So it's now, the order is Piers Pryor, Alex Rees, Rory Cuff and Sam Lovelace. That is your top four. Fantastic racing. They've now got a contact warning for Rory Cuff in the extra cart.
Good pushing through from Alex Rees. He's got organised, and there was a threat there that second, third, fourth we're going to lose touch with Piers Pryor, and once he's gone, he is gone. He cannot be caught in normal circumstances. But Alex Rees is going now with Piers Pryor. You've got to think, what you say, I mean, it's still 7 minutes to go. That's a long amount of time in sprint racing. If these two try and work together to pull away from Exeter and De Montfort and then scrap it out for the win towards the last couple of laps, what do you think?
I have to say, Piers Pryor overtook Alex Rees earlier in this race with relative ease, but they have been working together ever since. Alex Rees holding on to the back of Piers Pryor fantastically well. So I think if Alex Rees sniffs an opportunity, he will go for it. But the most important thing for him and the Swansea team, who I think they've had an average day so far. They've got Ryan Edwards out next, another very talented driver. This is the time for Swansea. So I think if I were Alex Rees, if I were talking to Alex Rees right now, I'd be telling him just hold position, make sure you finish at least fourth place, as they basically, he's only lapping a tenth slower than Piers Pryor. But importantly, Rory Cuff, with that, he has got a contact warning, so he's got to be careful. But he is also, they are lapping so similarly at the moment.
Remember Oxford BUKC as well. They need another 2 positions to further improve the score for round 5 that they've got at the moment. Now, they are 1.7 seconds behind Bathé and Sam Baxter, who's having a storming race still there in the 31 cart. Then they've got to catch up to that top 4. Can they do it? Well, they've not got long. They've got just under 6 minutes as we're having a look here. That's Huddersfield B off. That's Huddersfield B, the number 29. Were in 30th place. Driver looks okay. He just needs to get the cart out of the greenery there. This is the battle for 12th place. This is Newcastle B and Nottingham Trent A side by side. Bit of contact as they go into Devil's Elbow. Exeter A have just set the fastest lap of the race. We'll be back with the leaders in a while. Still as you were, the number 6 is involved there. That's Loughborough B and the 35 of Warwick B. Say as well for Alex Rees and the Swansea effort, this is obviously they're being a Premier team, but could be on for their best result of the year so far if they carry on this form through the rest of round 5. We'll stick with this battle though in the, or just outside the top 10. It's actually effectively for 11th place once you take Huddersfield D out of the equation, because we know they are not eligible in this race. And Huddersfield A, Huddersfield A have got a penalty?
Loughborough D. Sorry, you said Huddersfield D, not Loughborough D.
Oh, apologies. Loughborough D have got obviously the ghost cart of the day. No eligible team members in that one. But Carl Knight doing a good defensive job here ahead of Nottingham Trent A's driver, which is Andrew Wong. A little look over there. I was wondering if he was just trying to get something from the team, a bit of instruction. Got Sony on the back of this as well for Warwick B. Coming over the brow of the hill into the hard-braking right-hander, Spoon corner. Keeping it nice and tight down the hill again.
Just to check back in with the leaders, Piers Pryor is lapping significantly faster than Alex Rees, and also, it has to be said, Rory Cuff getting closer to the back of Alex Rees. They just crossed the line, so have a look out the window. Rory Cuff definitely interested in that race, but for now, we stay with this battle for 12th place. Carl Knight in front of the Nottingham Trent A car, then you have Loughborough B and Warwick B as well, all involved in this. So another nice little midfield scrap. We don't often see too many of these, but it's good to see. So here we go. We've got the Loughborough B car coming very interested in the back of the Nottingham Trent A car, heading through the second corner any minute now. There they go. Is there going to be any overtaking manoeuvre attempt? No, not for the moment. They would appear for now to be working together, and it's good to see as Oxford have got a black flag, but they're ineligible in this race, so not too interested in that. Meanwhile, as it all stays relatively even at the moment, although it has to be said they are coming up to some back markers as the 17, no, not quite thinking of a move there. Just making sure we've got some names here. So we've got Andrew Wong in the Nottingham Trent A car. No, and there he goes. Oh, look, Andrew Wong down the inside of Carl Knight. Oh, and the back marker spinning round there. We'll wait to see what happens with that one, but the upshot is, as Coventry A have got another black flag, that's quite extraordinary. But Carl Knight is still leading this pack. We've now got the number 6 of Loughborough B. Carl Knight going a little bit defensive, almost forcing the Loughborough B car onto the grass. Loughborough B, Ben Watkin in for that effort at the moment, and we also cannot discount in this little battle the Warwick B car as well.
Matthias Reed Simpson getting involved. The number 33 Warwick C card is actually down the Loughborough C card down the inside, takes the position there away from the number 17 of Trent A and the 35 of Warwick B. Brilliant driving there. More fast laps coming in from Rory Cuff for 42.299, and is now, as we say, ahead of Swansea A. So that's a change for second place at this stage of the season. All of these points really, really coming into play now. There's a penalty for Loughborough B out there, who were 13th, so they'll be dropped from that position at least once we get to the end of this race. But can these two drivers start to work together now, Rory Cuff and Alex Rees, for Exeter A and Swansea A, to get on terms with a former BUKC champion, remember, in Piers Pryor, who is part of that team that won the championship back in 2017, which included a trip here to Gors.
Fastest lap of the race for Swansea A. Very interested in the back of Rory Cuff, heading up towards the back straight. They have got a couple of back markers just a little bit way up the road, so we'll wait to see if they end up playing a part. But just for now, on what I would imagine will be the penultimate lap of the race, it is still as you were. Rory Cuff leading from Alex Rees in second place, and it's Piers Pryor about a second up the road now from Rory Cuff. But it's fantastic standard of driving going on here. They're all working together brilliantly. Very little in the way of contact, very little in the way of penalties. So it's great to see just an out-and-out clean fight for the race. I haven't had too many of them so far today. So we'll see what happens as we now come on to start the final lap of the race any minute now. There it goes. So as we come onto the Dragon Straight, Alex Rees a little bit too far behind Rory Cuff heading up the Dragon Straight. He might get a decent little tow heading into turn 2, but he's nowhere near enough to even think about an overtaking manoeuvre. And they have come to the back of these two back markers. Piers Pryor will reach them first. You can imagine he'll have dealt with them by the time we get to the end of this lap, but it depends if he then sends them back into Rory Cuff. So any minute now we'll see Piers Pryor going down the inside of the number 53 Birmingham C. No, he's not actually. He's going into Devil's Elbow. Piers Pryor, sorry, the compression even. So now we're into Devil's Elbow. Piers Pryor still stuck behind this back marker. I don't think there's enough time left in this race for it to play an impact. Rory Cuff getting interested, but it is going to be, as he sends it down the inside of the Birmingham C car, it's going to be Piers Pryor to take the victory. Rory Cuff crosses the line just 6 tenths behind. Alex Rees third for the Swansea A car. We look for Sam Lovelace, who led for a good portion of this race, but just fell by the wayside later on. Bath A finished 5th. Oxford Brooks A finished 6th. They did not finish 4th as they really needed to in this race. So that is disappointing for them. Leeds A in 7th. Oxford Brooks C, who have got a number of penalties to be applied, are 8th. Coventry B 9th. Huddersfield A are in 10th. We look for the battle for 12th place. Carl Knight wins out in that battle. It's Warwick B made up 2 positions on that last lap. So fantastic job there. Loughborough C were in 15th. Nottingham Trent A ended up in 16th. We've got the ineligible Oxford somewhere along the line. But no, fantastic racing there from Piers Pryor, from Alex Rees, from all of them in the top 4.
And just want to give a shout out to William Stacey. Leeds A, 7th in that race, the top clubman winner. That's a huge result for Leeds A. They finished their 5th round of the championship this year on 155 points. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good score for a clubman team, and lays down the marker to the likes of Brighton A, Birmingham A, UE, any other team that might be in the fight there for the honours in the clubman class. Do keep your comments coming in. Do keep sharing the stream, of course. Get the word out there that this motorsport right here in North Wales is running, and we're running strongly as well as the drivers come back in after that 5th and penultimate race here in round 5. We've got one more race to go. There's Stu Stretton there in his lovely tabard. We do like to give him a shout out, and there he is taking a picture of the winner, Piers Pryor. Another fantastic drive for him in Loughborough A colours. Great work that Stu Stretton does. As always, at every single BUKC event, you can give him a like on Facebook at Stu Stretton Media. It's the same tag as well for Twitter to give him a follow. You can find him on Instagram as well at Stu Stretton _media. Piers will hopefully be making his way over to Jacob in a few moments' time. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
the first shot of us here in the commentary box in front of the wonderful Gors Park banner. And James, we're going into the last race of round 5. Championship can't be decided at this point, but it's only after round 6 that there's a possibility that Coventry A could take it. But this last race that we've got coming up here, you've got Coventry A starting up there in the top 10. They have had just that absolutely horrendous round race 5. What do you think? We assume it'll be Ryan Williams driving for them in this last race of the day. What do you think is going to be going through their heads as they tackle this one? Because it is possible that they could win this round.
I don't think too much will be going through their minds at all. I think they'll look at Joe Fowler's results and say, OK, we've had a stinker on this occasion, but we'll dust ourselves down, brush it off. We've got Ryan going out now. I think he won both of his races last time out. He knows exactly what he's doing. As long as he keeps it clean, I think that will be the only thing they'll say. It's just like, just make sure you just keep it clean in those opening laps. We don't have the grid to us right now, but
I can sort that for you.
You can sort that for me. Just to let you know as well, we've got the drivers being weighed in. So Coventry A, Ryan Williams starting 6th place.
And with no offence to the drivers ahead of him.
No.
Actually, no, saying that, Pascal Pook starts pole position for Southampton A. He took a win last time out. Stefan Kessler up there as well. We're just trying to keep an eye on where Mr. Harris is and where Mr. Pryor is to get them your winners interview in a few moments' time. Harry Jones in there for Newcastle A. It's not going to be an easy job this for Ryan, but especially now that they've had that faux pas, as it were, from Joe Fowler. He's not racing with the thought of, oh, well, I've got to get this certain position to improve the score. He's just going out there and racing now and seeing what he can get. I think that should play into the hands of a driver, I think, like Ryan Williams.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he's starting in 6th, he's only got 5 karts in front of him, the propensity for there to be contact or...
Sorry to cut across you there, James. I think we can now go down to Jacob Harris, who's got Piers Pryor with him.
Oh, here we go. We've got Piers Pryor down here undressing, it seems. Just taking his radio out. Piers, great battle there with Swansea and Exeter.
That was a great race. That was fun, that. Yeah.
had a decent start and then went backwards and then forwards and then backwards again and then forwards again. But no, great fun. I mean, I love this track so much. It just flows so nicely. I had a great time. How did it look from the outside? I don't know.
It looked quite nice. Would you say you'd now driven it in the wet, or was that not qualifying as wet?
I'd say that wasn't wet. It was drizzling a couple of times, but it was pretty much dry land everywhere. But it was good fun, sketchy in the middle sector, like through the, is it carousel? You had to kind of, if you didn't hook the inside, then I went, what, you go really wide. I did that a couple of times at the start, so told myself off and then didn't do it again, so that helped. Yeah, good speed as well. The kart was quite nice that time. A good straight line speed up the hill, which helps a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty much pivotal here. Formula Brooks on Instagram just before this race asked if you'd carry on taking people out. You managed to avoid that, I think.
I don't think I've taken anyone out this year at all, to be honest.
Well, there we have it.
I don't think I have actually at all. In fact, if I haven't, I don't know what they're chatting about.
Piers Bride does not take people out, apparently.
Not deliberately.
Oof, okay, well, I mean, you didn't need to throw that in there. Now I'm just thinking, well...
I'm sure it's happened at some point, but I don't try and take people out. I'm just here for a good race, here for a good time. I'm having a good time. Hopefully they are too.
Speaking of taking people out, Joe Fowler got 2 black flags in that one for Coventry for ABC bumping and passing. Yeah. Has that given you a foot back into the championship race?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how their other races have gone, to be honest. We've had 2 poor ones and 2 good ones. Well, 2 wins and a 12th and a nowhere. So I don't know where that leaves us this round. But to be honest, they've had quite, I think Coventry have won or been on the podium every round so far. So this probably end up being their drop if they've had a black flag. But again, it's kind of one of those things where when you're driving the car, you're just kind of doing the best you can in the race, and then what the other teammates and the teams do is happens. It's not really much we can do about it, but hopefully it helps us in the championship. I think we're 4th before coming into today. Hopefully this means that we can just edge our way up. It'll be a nice top 3, and hopefully we can win by the end of the year, but we'll see.
It might have been even higher if you didn't miss PFI.
Yeah, maybe. But you know, as I said, if anyone wants to, chuck a few pennies my way so I can afford, that'd be sweet. But no, we'll be at the right final round of Clay, unless coronavirus gets us all by then.
It won't.
Hopefully not.
Congratulations on your win, Piers. Just talk to us.
Thank you very much. Do you want a coronavirus?
No, I don't. I don't mean to be rude, but no, I don't. Boris said no. I'm not going to do it. Drivers are still being weighed. I thought they finished, if I'm honest with you, which is why I wrapped up that interview with Piers. But we've still got 6 drivers waiting to be weighed in that one. This was a lightweight race, so the weight minimum was 75 kilos. Hopefully they're all weighing in as appropriate. Let's see who we've got waiting over here. I believe this is Team Southampton, is it? It is, and Pascal Pook appears to be going out. Pascal, come and have a quick chat with me over the fence. You did all right last time out at Buckmore, didn't you?
Yeah, it was not too bad actually. It's surprisingly all right. The wet race was a complete disaster, but the drive was good.
And what's going on with Team Southampton this year? You turn up with nearly 4 different drivers every round.
Yeah, it's just most of the A-team 4th years doing their degree. I mean, unlike me, I'm just sacking it off to do BUKC, but they're committed apparently, so just sort of off and on getting people where I can. So
your dedication is admirable. Today then, let's talk about this race. You good around GYG?
Never been around here, first time.
I thought a man with all the pretty colours and badges on yourself would have at least had a look around.
Oh yeah, I've done track walks, watched videos, but I got 3 laps to dial in and then fucking hope for the best, I guess.
How quickly can you get to grips with the new track?
Well, this will be the test to find out, I guess. Hopefully fast enough.
Where are you starting?
Pole.
Okay, well let's hope that those 3 practice laps you get at the start are good enough then. Looks like drivers are coming out on track, so I will leave you to it, and all the best.
Cheers.
Pascal Pook, they're driving for Southampton A. Let's wander out onto the grid with the rest of the drivers. I can see Huddersfield's Alex Gunn moving further up there, so we may chase him, we may wait around for someone else. We've seen Pascal Pook, who coincidentally was our pole man, but let's see who else is contesting this one. We will indeed go to Huddersfield, so I don't think we've had a chat with them yet today, and I'll squeeze in between Aaron and Alex there. Alex is apparently avoiding me, but he's seen me now. He's seen me now. Never avoiding me, of course, not even if I had the virus. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How's Huddersfield's day at GYG going?
So-so. Few penalties here and there, but it's not too bad. It could be a lot worse, so I'm going to try and make it better. So.
Good man. Where were you last week?
I was at work. I couldn't get the time off. I'm on placement, so yeah.
You're supposed to be a student.
Yeah, I know, but I'm technically working, so.
Did you not have told them that you're self-isolating?
I might try that for Clay, actually, so need a few days off for that, so.
I mean, it's all well and good saying something like that, but then you pop up on the live stream, which everyone watches, obviously, and win the race, then they're going to find out, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I've told a few people that from work that I'm racing today, so they might be watching, so yeah, I hope my boss isn't watching.
Anyone in particular you want to give a shout out to, as if you're on Popmaster?
Just all the other placement students if they're watching, and Andy as well, if you're watching.
Hello, Andy. How are you going to get on in this race? You're starting mid-pack, are you?
Yeah, 18th. Just take the first corner as it comes and then just see where we are from there. Just try and get into a bit of a rhythm and see where we end up.
Good man. All the best with that. I shall speak to you later.
Yep, hopefully. See you later.
Alex Gunn there of Huddersfield. Right, let's shuffle this way. All manner of people getting in my way, drivers, Club 100 staff, and we have Phil Craven for De Montfort. I don't think we've spoken to De Montfort today. Good running for them in the last race. I'll just let Phil put his number plate and GoPro on and then expect a chat. Some issues with the angle of this camera, apparently, which is taking a minute. I think he knows I'm there. Certainly been speaking loud enough. Yep, bit of a GoPro issue. Phil, have a quick chat before you do that, because we've got a limited amount of time. Decent running for De Montfort in that last race. Can you carry on the form?
Hope so. So I aim to get top 5, top 10, something like that. Just keep the points after our bad first 2 results. So just get as far forward as we can.
That's ambitious for a top 5. Were you starting mid-pack here? Are you 12th?
You never know.
I do never know. You know, I can't predict the future, but yeah, you guys hopeful for a podium maybe?
Maybe overall, depending. So all we can hope for, the best we can get. So.
All right then, Phil, I'll let you get on with adjusting your GoPro angle. Phil Craven there of De Montfort A. Rory Cuff is in this one, having been in the last race. Rory, what are you doing?
Yeah, there was just an empty spot in B that needed filling, so here I am.
Okay. Decent run in that last race, narrowly missed out on the win to Piers Pryor.
Yeah, it was fine. For some reason, the car just kept cutting out every 3 laps. Only a little bit, but I would catch the leader and then he'd disappear again, so that didn't help. But yeah, Piers did a great job to come from where he was.
Bodes well for this one. Obviously you won't score points, but perhaps you can mix it up with the front runners again.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens.
Good man. Speak to you later, Rory. Rory Cuff there of Exeter. I'm just casting my eye out for one last person to speak to. We'll get Sam Cobb, who won a race last time out. I'm going to step this side of kart. Sam, race winner last time out at Buckmore. Can we see the same again today?
Gonna try, but yeah.
I did, but we've seen people carving through the pack already today. The first lap throws up a number of surprises.
Yeah, we'll give it a go, see what happens, see how it shakes out.
And how are Cambridge getting on today?
2nd to 6th and 9th, so it's all right. Could be better. We've had a lot of things not go our way, but still a decent set of results.
Still on for a podium if you win this.
That's a hope.
All right, Sam, have a good race. I'll speak to you later. Sam Cobb there. We got time for one last one. No, we don't. The engines are on, unfortunately. It's back to the commentary box with James and Andrew for race 6.
Hola a todos y bienvenido otra vez a GYG del Perspectivo, the BUKC. Right,
what just happened?
I don't know. I went with it. Anyway, we're going to take you through a grid now. We'll come on to round permutations in a moment. But on pole position for Southampton A, a team I don't think we've mentioned at all so far, it is Pascal Pook. In 2nd place, we have Stefan Kessler for Nottingham A. 3rd place, Fraser Glasby for the Nottingham Trent B kart, and it's George Rouse in 4th place for Brighton B. Harry Jones starting in 5th place for Newcastle A, and then it's Ryan Williams for Coventry A starting in 6th. Joe Perkins starts in 7th for Warwick B, and it's Angel Marco in an all Warwick row 4 for Warwick C. Exeter B in 9th, they are ineligible, and it's Pavlo Denisenko starting in 10th for Coventry B. Oxford Brooks B are in 11th with David Haynes at the wheel, and in 12th it is Matthew Santana starting for Kingston A. De Montfort A have Phil Craven at the wheel, and it's Ryan Edwards starting in 14th for Swansea A. Jack Burgess is 15th from Manchester A, and it's Stratton Hibbs racing in 16th for Oxford. Loughborough have Max Reed in the kart in 17th place, and it's Alex Gunn starting in 18th for Huddersfield A. Dennis Danilov starting in 19th for Bournemouth A, whilst William Metcalf is starting in 20th for Coventry D. Oxford Brooks D have Ethan Jones starting in 21st, and Sam Cobb starts in 22nd for Cambridge A. Albert Legutko starts in 23rd, and it's Don Bessel in 24th for De Montfort B. Bradley Weems, there we go, starting in 25th for Leeds B, and it's Ewan Howes in 26th for Trinity B. Matthew Tomlinson starts 27th for Manchester Met A, and Queen Mary A are ineligible, starting in 28th. Harry Farnhill, heavyweight champion of last year, starting in 29th for Trinity A, and it's Angus Brett starting in 30th for Cambridge B. Scott Van Breda starts in 31st for Bath B, and it's Josh White, 32nd for Birmingham A. And last, but by no means least, it is Nottingham Trent A with Sam Pooley. Now, Mr. Andrew Mather,
Hello.
I believe you might want to have a little discussion about what can happen in this round to affect, or in this race, sorry, to affect the overall result of this round.
Oh,
spreadsheet of
someone's just binned it there.
It's only practice.
Right, okay, clubhouse leaders done for this round are Oxford Brooks A. They've scored 173 points. Well done to them. There are 4 teams in this final race who can beat that by doing various things, which is basically going all out, trying to win the race. Cambridge A are one of them, starting 22nd on the grid. They're currently 4th in points on 166, can improve to 174 if they win the race. Nottingham A are one of them, starting 2nd on the grid. And they're currently on 157 with a max possible 175. Birmingham A are one of them. Although they are starting 32nd, so it's a bit of a long shot, but we'll give them a mention. They're currently on 152 with a max possible 174, but I think the one that we are all interested in terms of the championship, the 4th team that can knock Brooks A off that top perch in this final race, they start 6th on the grid. They've got a max possible 175, so they've got to get on with it, is Coventry A. So that's all the ramifications for overall. Very short ramifications as well for Clubman. Sheffield A are your clubhouse leaders in Clubman. They've been fantastic this morning. They've got 165 points on the board. There's only one other Clubman team who can beat that tally, and that is Birmingham A. We should also mention Birmingham A versus Leeds A, because that's a key battle in Clubman's. Leeds A are done for the day, currently on 155. By my calculations, Birmingham A need to finish 20th or higher in this race to at least get past Leeds A and further extend their Clubman's lead. That's it. That's all your ramifications. I think let's get on with the race. This is it then. The final race of round number 5 in the BUKC 2020. Very slow run to the line. Pascal Pook will take us to green with Stefan Kessler alongside on the front row. We're away. We're racing again here at Gors. Great start from Pook. Even start between Fraser Gladsby and Stefan Kessler, the 2 Nottingham Universities, Uni versus Trent there. And I think Gladsby has got through. Yes, he has. So brilliant start from Fraser. Coventry A is still in there as well as they run up to, and there's contact round, and that's Kessler. That's Stefan Kessler, so that's Nottingham A already out of it. Collins been decimated again coming out of Spoon Corner. Now there was contact involving Rayan Williams there. It'd be interesting to see how that's officiated. I don't think it was his fault. It was a bit of a racing incident. The number 37's involved as well. That's X2B, but remember that's Rory Cuff. He's ineligible in this race, but that's a fantastic start as Rayan Williams trying to find down the inside. There's a bit of contact, and there was a cone that's been misplaced as well. But a brilliant start for Pascal Pook in Southampton A.
The cone was Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams hit the cone. Ryan Williams heads into the air. There's contact involved. Not entirely sure who that car involved was. Swansea A have come from absolute nowhere. They've had a fantastic start as Ryan Edwards. But the big news here so far, Ryan Williams, I'm more than 100% certain that he hit a cone on that instant. There was an instant there where he was up in the air. So the pressure
at this stage of the season for the championship leaders. We've seen it happen before. There's a spinner. Look at the lead that Pascal Pook's got here. He's like 3 seconds up the road. So I think that's Max Reed trying to fight through in the Loughborough B kart. Sam Cobb's in there as well, the distinctive flamed helmet for Coventry A. Poor Colin, he's not having a good day, is he, the cone there. Contact warning for Coventry A. The crucial thing that I know what you're saying about the cone, JJ, but they're down outside the top 10. That's not where they need to be if they're going to get a win out of this round. Here is your battle for third place on the road, isn't it? This is Trent B versus De Montfort A. So De Montfort A had a good result with Sam Lovelace earlier on today, and here they are again with a good chance for more good points with Phil Craven at the wheel this time. Black flag! Oh, here we go! Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I did wonder at the start of the day, we've seen it before. Championship leader, far championship leader. We saw it with Exeter last year at round 4. We saw it with Loughborough and Brooks in years gone by. Now it's Coventry's turn. The wheels have come off here in round 5. This is going to be a dropped round for them. But now the piranhas of the rest of this field will start snapping at their heels as Phil Craven goes down the inside of Fraser Gladsby there and takes third place. And Swansea A are in this as well on home soil in North Wales, and they're going to go up the inside. Look at this. This is brilliant from Swansea. Down the inside. Oh, how about that? Mr. Former Swansea man, your team's up to third.
Striker, he's absolutely done a brilliant job there, has Ryan Edwards. I think he's gone now up into third place. And yes, indeed, it's a fantastic job there from the Swansea driver. One of his 2 suspect seasons so far in the BUKC so far, but this third season for Ryan Edwards, absolutely fantastic. He is in properly good form. Came third in round 6 in his race, round 4 at Butmore Park. So fantastic there from Ryan Edwards. And I will try and keep myself as calm as possible, but it is good to see him doing well. Meanwhile, so obviously Coventry A are still...
It's second because you take Rory Cuff's Exeter B card out because he's ineligible.
Fantastic there for Swansea. Really, really great to see. But anyway, let's have a look. See, so Ryan Williams is still
not pitted.
Out. He's not come in. He has got a black flag.
Yep.
That's a while. That's so. It depends when he's seen it. The rule, I believe the rule in BUKC is that you have to come in for a black flag as soon as it's given. It's not like in Formula 1 where you can wait 3 laps for the penalty to be served. We'll wait to see on this lap if he comes in. Currently in 8th. We're following Huddersfield 8 at the moment. So there's Ryan Williams. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he hasn't. Ryan Williams stays out. This is interesting. What? Unless it's not showing on the digi-flag, as Sam Cobb there getting swamped by 2 drivers. He was making good progress up until this point, but it's now, I think he's just been overtaken by Loughborough B and De Montfort B. So we will wait and see what happens. But the interesting thing here is why is Ryan Williams not coming into the pits? There's now Sam Cobb again in one of the tires.
Showing again.
What?
Oh, sorry. It's number 26, Manchester A. That was a cheeky little move down the inside. Here's Fraser Gladsby for Nottingham Trent B. Often takes the anchor leg for the Trent B team. And let's Ryan Williams go through. Now, will Williams pit this time around? We've just seen the black flag notification come up on our timing screen for the 2nd time in this race as a repeat showing. Not a second flag. Well, he didn't seem to acknowledge, which could mean he's swearing profusely in the helmet or he's not seen it at all. Pascal Pook, by the way, still leads, but is about to be overtaken by Rory Cuff. But Rory Cuff is ineligible for Exeter B, so it will come to absolutely nothing. So really our lead gap that we're looking at... Oh my goodness, what's going on here? 4 wide going up to Spoon Corner, as you do. Nottingham A were involved in that as well. This really has played into Brooks A's hands, hasn't it? You've got... and Kessler's off again. Yeah. That's Nottingham A again in trouble. So I was just about to say, they're out for winning this round. Cambridge A, I think it's Cambridge A. Cambridge A are the only ones who really could stop them, but at the moment it's not going right for Sam Cobb. He did take a win last time out.
Sorry, Andrew. Ryan Williams once again not coming into the pits to serve his black flag. This is interesting. We've got Tom Fox standing next to us, but there's no indication from...
Now, interestingly, Cambridge B have just been reshown a black flag. Now, apologies, ladies and gentlemen. From our position, we cannot see the digi-flag itself. It may... I'd be surprised if it's 2 drivers going around ignoring black flags. I may give them a benefit of the doubt here and say that the digi-flag might not be working. So the old hand signal of get your bottom in the pits now might be necessary from Jimbo down in the pits.
If Cambridge B come into the pits for a black flag, then Ryan Williams is purposefully ignoring his black flag. That's
Take your point.
That's something to bear in mind. But we're back. Let's focus on the racing for the moment. So we're with De Montfort, the battle for 4th place
Effectively third.
Effectively third. So it's currently De Montfort A leading from Coventry B and Huddersfield A. But here come Coventry B down the inside into turn 2. And he's got the move done. And also coming through, looks like, have we got Huddersfield A coming through? Yep, there we go. So De Montfort A losing 2 places, but this battle is going to rage on for the rest of the race.
Got to say, this is a really good story. This is Pavlo Denisenko driving for Coventry B in this race, who less than 12 months ago was in the Rookie Series. The Rookie Series, the non-championship events run for development drivers, getting them their BUKC race licenses. He was racing in that last year at Wilton Mill, took a fantastic victory that you and myself commentated on at the back end of the season. They'll be out again tomorrow for those, as up the inside goes Alex Gunn there on Pavlo Denisenko. But seeing Denisenko race through from the rookies, he's got into this Coventry B team, and he is really taking it to them, to guys who've raced for many, many years in this series. Alex Gunn up the inside of Denisenko once again as they go up through to Spoon Corner, and Denisenko defends well from Alex Gunn and Phil Craven. It's been a bit of an up and down day so far for Huddersfield.
Sorry, Andrew, he's got a good drive down towards Carousel, has Alex Gunn, but Denisenko hanging on to that position very well. This battle is going to rage on for the entirety of this race. I am very, very confident. As here comes Alex Gunn, has a think about it down the inside, but brilliant, again, brilliant defensive driving from Pavlo Denisenko. He keeps the move there, but now coming through into Devil's Elbow, the loop has been done. Another black flag for Coventry A. They're still out.
Cambridge B are also still out.
Cambridge, okay, so we could have issues with the digi flag. We'll try and see if we can get confirmation on that. But anyway, meanwhile, so Alex Gunn now up into 4th place. Swansea A have got a good, is a 3.4 second gap, or 3.5 second gap, sorry, to Swansea A in second. But this, if they continue to fight like this, then Swansea A they'll be driving off into the sunset. And now we've got Phil Craven in the De Montfort A car, very interested as well in this fight. Alex Gunn looks like he's got a little bit of a gap now to Pavlo Denisenko coming now into compression corner. I think there's a yellow flag out there as well.
Just to mention Clubman's, Warwick B currently your leaders in Clubman's, and out for them at the moment is Joe Perkins. Birmingham A are in the crucial 20th position that will mean they, by our calculations, Pip leads A in terms of where they'll finish in this round. But ironically, directly behind them is Leeds B. So that's an interesting situation going on out there on the circuit. Here's a good battle. In fact, this is involving Warwick B. This is Joe Perkins and Max Reed. So Max Reed driving for Loughborough B. Perkins has the run. Can he? I think he's actually trying to work with Reed at the moment to break away from Fraser Gladsby there, another Clubman runner in the Nottingham Trent B cars.
Coventry A are in for their black flag. They have finally come in.
And Cambridge B are in as well.
So whatever was going on, I'm guessing there were digi-flag problems. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. But the main thing is that both teams have now come in to serve their black flag penalty. And Ryan Williams, out he goes, and out goes Cambridge B.
Right, I'm going to go do some maths.
You do some
hold
maths.
The ship.
I will hold down the ship. So Exeter B lead this race. They are ineligible. So the battle for the lead is between Southampton A and Swansea A. Ryan Edwards versus Pascal Pook. Now, the gap there is 1 second, so we will hopefully be able to try and find that. But at the moment, we are following the battle between, I believe, Warwick A and Trinity A. But not sure where we are at the moment. We've got Sam Cobb in the Cambridge A car. He's down in 11th. So Cambridge A, one of the teams that could have potentially won this round, not looking likely at the moment. So he needs to make some serious progress and hope that a number of things go his way. We're back with the fight between, so it's Warwick B, Sam Perkins versus Loughborough B, they have Max Reed at the wheel. Looking out of my window at the moment, I can see. Okay, so here we go. This is the battle for the lead. This is Southampton A versus Swansea A. Pascal Pook versus Ryan Edwards. The gap stands at half a second. So this could be, if Ryan Edwards were to win this race, this would be Swansea's first victory in a BUKC race that I can personally remember. I raced for Swansea for about 5 years. I cannot remember a time when we ever actually won a race outright. This would be a fantastic result for them, but it is by no means done. We're just over half of this race left to go. Pascal Poop leading at the moment, but Ryan Edwards firmly onto the back. He was half a second. We're going to watch it across the line. The gap is surely going to come down massively. And here goes Ryan Edwards down the inside of turn 1. Swansea A take the lead of the race. Fantastic little move there from Ryan Edwards. He goes into the lead of this race. So brilliant stuff there. He was gaining massively on Pascal Poop in Southampton A, and the move is now done. So your de facto leader of this race at the moment is Ryan Edwards in the Swansea A kart.
Wow, what a move, clean move as well there from Edwards. In terms of points, this is increasingly looking good as a round for Oxford Brookes A to take the 60 points. Exeter A, after I wrote them off earlier and said they were out of it, they look like they're going to take second, and Loughborough A third, Cambridge A fourth, Sheffield A fifth and winning clubman. That would be the result if things stay as they are. Just to say as well, mate, Swansea are on for the top 10 here in the round overall. This has been a brilliant day for Swansea and what has been a very good season for them. Here we're looking at the battle. There's a yellow flag out there. I think this is our battle all around 10th place again. The number 4 of Birmingham Amazing. This is, in fact, yeah, this is 14th down. This is 14th down here, and the key cart in the middle of all of that is the number 4. It's Josh White driving for them, who is another driver who tends to do the last leg for Birmingham A in these competitions. And they're in an okay position at the moment, 19th, which, well, at least if you take Exeter B out, becomes 18th. I think that should be enough to give them second place in Clubman, but they're side by side with the number 49 of Trinity B. And Josh, you're being too nice. You've got to get through. We need to get this Birmingham B card. Oops, sorry, I said a we, hashtag not biased. As far up the field as all possible, and Birmingham A are off. Oh no, they're off, and this is where James Mills was, and Birmingham A's chance. Sorry, commentator curse, harpooned my old team. Brilliant, there we go. And that is Birmingham A's chance of getting a podium in Clubman's well and truly gone for round 5.
Whilst you're saying that, we're going back to what we were at the end of the last round, Swansea and Birmingham. I've noticed out the window that Swansea were held up by a back marker, so in the battle for the lead, it's still Swansea leading Southampton, but the gap is significantly closer than it was when Ryan Edwards first took the lead. They're crossing the start-finish line now, heading up the Dragon Straight. Ryan Edwards has kept the lead for the moment, so we'll cut back to this fight here in the battle for Birmingham is still there, Andrew.
And I think it was contact with Brookes D. It was side by side, and it is always tough in these scraps in the middle of the pack. But unfortunately, Birmingham A's chance there to get a good result. And come back to the penalties again. The penalties earlier in the day. You know, they had a 23rd in race 3. Coventry B have had a penalty, so that's going to be them demoted from 5th place for an overtake under yellow. I imagine that was the yellow flag for Birmingham A.
We've just picked up our leaders once again. It looks like Ryan Edwards now he's got a gap, but we have now got back markers. So we're now up to Kingston A, and he's got past him with no problem at all. And actually, that's been quite beneficial for the Swansea driver, as he's got the 23 of Warwick C. Kingston A in the way. Here comes Pascal Poop down the inside, and he's got the move done. So there are two. They've now got Birmingham A. No, sorry. Okay. So we could be Birmingham A and Cambridge B are the next carts, but I think this could be
further lap down.
No, I think so. That's lapping for a second time, I would imagine. So we won't take too much. We'll
got to keep racing on though, because you never know with the penalties being by position, not time. You never know. Could pick up some more points as it goes on.
This is where a driver's mentality has to be correct, because again I don't know if Ryan will know that he is leading this race, but he's got to make sure when he's passing these back markers that he does not initiate contact that neither of them do, because if both of them pick up penalties, then if both of them were to pick up penalties, for example, your winner would then be 4th placed man Huddersfield A, who that's Alex Gunn at the wheel. So he was obviously having, and now we've got an overtaking attempt coming from Pascal Poop round the outside of the carousel on Ryan Edwards. Ryan Edwards now going to the outside for compression. He has a look at it, but no, not for the moment. Ryan Edwards maintains the lead in this race. But Pascal Pook very much interested. His pace dropped off towards as Rory Cuff was overtaking him, and now it would appear that it's come back. So across the line we go, through turn 1, up the Dragon Straight. What is there going to be here for Pascal Pook? It looks like there's a little bit of a gap between himself and Ryan Edwards heading now into Spoon Corner, but it's getting incredibly close here. Meanwhile, Alex Gunn is getting involved, and now the back marker is having a bit of argy-bargy with Alex Gunn. So Alex Gunn cannot be discounted in the battle for the lead, and with just under 8 minutes of this race left, contact warning for Warwick C. With 7.5 minutes left of this race, Alex Gunn starting to look a little bit interested. The gap is only 0.2 of a second between Ryan Edwards and Pascal Pook. So they're going to cross the line. They go. So it's still a bit. It's increased a little bit to 0.3, but the gap to Huddersfield A for Alex Gunn has actually increased. It's increased on this lap by 0.9 of a second. So it will be this lap we'll see the true pace differential between the two front runners and Alex Gunn. So we're now, whilst we wait for that battle to materialise, we're back with the fight for 7th place now. So it's Loughborough B who currently occupy 7th place. Again, we have Max Reed at the wheel there. He's come through from the back of the grid. Not the back of it, sorry. He's come through from sort of the middle of the grid. But it's a good little fight back here as he just laps the Kingston A driver.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was just having a little chat with Tom Dent, because the Leeds team are very, very nervous about this, because they are on for another Clubman podium. Teams that could threaten them, though, Warwick B are still sniffing around there, 8th from the road at the moment, effectively 7th. And as we continue to get into the latter stages of this race, latter stages of the round, there's your leader on the road, but he's ineligible, so effectively a ghost cart out there who doesn't count. Or change for the effective lead! Pascal Pook down the inside, takes Ryan Edwards and fights back, so Southampton A now are on for the 60 points here from this final race of the day. It's been a bit of a strange day for Southampton. At the moment, they've got race results of 26th, 18th, 14th. Not really a factor, but that's a big move in terms of the context of this race. So Pascal Pook leads with 5.5 minutes to go. Once the ineligible Rory Cuff is taken out of the result, Huddersfield A have just done the fastest lap of the race, a 49.5. That is very quick from Alex Gunn, who is missing his normal endurance teammate Stephen Letts today. Edwards has a half little look there. These guys need to keep working together, because Alex Gunn is absolutely charging here. You'll just see him in the back of shot. There he is. There is the number 8, Huddersfield A. Where are they on for? Well, they're looking good for a top 10 for round 5. And actually, James, I think this isn't just a fight on the road. In terms of position of this race, this could be a fight between Swansea and Huddersfield about to start for a championship point as well.
It's what we love to see. It's great to see Swansea up there at the moment. But yeah, brilliant from Pascal Pook. His pace fell away massively, and it's only seemingly and here goes Ryan Edwards down the inside. So Ryan Edwards back in the lead of this race, and although Pascal Pook gets a good switchback, is he going to send it down the inside into the carousel? No, he isn't. But all of this is bringing Alex Gunn massively into the fight. Trinity B get a contact warning. Ryan Edwards back in front of the lead of this race. We're coming up to a back marker. That is going to play a part at some point, surely. It's the 28 of Oxford, so that's probably that's an ineligible driver. So coming up to the Dragon Straight now, Swansea 8 back in the de facto lead of this race. We've got just under 4 minutes of this race left to go. Alex Gunn now properly in this fight. He has caught up to the back of them. He's been lapping about a second a lap quicker than the people around him. And so now this is the opportunity. This is the freeway fight for the lead that we've been hoping to see through this race. It's now imperative for Ryan Edwards that he gets past this back marker as quickly and as easily as possible. But we're now coming into one of the biggest spaces where you can lose time. Surely he was going to send it down the inside. No, he's not. Okay, so this is interesting for Ryan Edwards. How is he going to manage this back marker just make sure there's no contact with them.
On the right side of him.
I think he's got it done, but that is going to allow Pascal Pook down as well, Shoy. But no, the 28 getting still in the way, and Alex got all a bit of contact there with Alex Gunn, but they are all through eventually. So now coming on to another lap, 3 minutes of this race left to go. We've got the Club 100 test car in front. Don't worry about him. So Pascal Pook now properly involved again, once again with Ryan Edwards. Any opportunity to send it down the inside as Ryan Edwards now goes defensive, and that's going to compromise him. He's got to go defensive, coming now down into the carousel. Is he going to be able to hang it around the inside line? Yes, he is. But again, all of it is going to compromise him now coming into the compression. Pascal Pook going to the outside. He's going to send it down the inside. Surely, no, he's not. Ryan Edwards good through that section. He might compromise his exit out of the carousel, but he is still in the lead of this race. But Alex Gunn right on the back of this fight.
Some key moves being done just at the bottom end of the top 10. Cambridge A are up to 9th place. They're now in a position where any further positions forward, they'll start gaining round points. They could sneak onto the podium in fact, no, they need 2 more positions because, of course, it's effectively 8th once you take Rory out of the situation. So this is a key run for Cambridge A and Sam Cobb, but we're going to keep our eyes on this effective battle for the lead. Pascal Pook has a little look there at Ryan Edwards. This is for 60 points from race 6 for round 5, and key points in the championship as well, as all these teams are fighting in and around the top 10 of the top 15 of the championship, with Swansea having such a strong day. Still Alex Gunn. I've liked the game that Alex Gunn is playing here. He's just waiting. He doesn't have to make a move right now. There's still a good couple of laps of this one to go. 90 seconds on the clock. Rory Cuff is up the road, but as we keep mentioning, he is ineligible. He is effectively a ghost kart, not in this race in terms of points. This is where the battle for 60 points is, and it's still Ryan Edwards. Slightly defensive line into the spoon yet again. Pook stays where he is. I think he is just happy at the moment. Checks over his shoulder, sees Alex Gunn there. Edwards just half a cart width inside. Just reminding Pook there that it's going to be quite a challenge to get past.
This final lap is going to be something else. I think it's going to be the final lap we're going to come on to now, when our leader Rory Cuff
crosses the line, which will be any second.
Which will be any second. I think it all really depends. So we are coming on to the last lap. This is where it matters, and actually Ryan Edwards has got a little bit of a gap now to Pascal Pook. In fact, he's got a significant gap, and there's a significant gap back to Alex Gunn. So whereas they were running line astern for the last couple of laps, now the gap has slightly increased. So Ryan Edwards has got a very decent gap into Spoon. That's one of the biggest overtaking opportunities on this track now. Heading down towards the carousel. This is where Pascal Pook was better, but he's not close enough. Ryan Edwards coming through the carousel. He's keeping it on track. Pascal Pook is got to make sure he keeps Alex Gunn behind as well.
There's
a bit of traffic coming up, but I don't think it's anywhere near enough. And
they're not going to catch it.
We've lost the picture in the studio, so we're going to keep an eye on it on our screens. But it looks like, I can't quite believe I'm going to say this, Ryan Edwards is going to come across the line, and he takes the victory for Swansea. Pascal Pook in second place, Alex Gunn in third, and I've got to stop because there's a lump in my throat.
What a line. That's a very, very appropriate phrase to use here. Once you take Rory Cuff out of the result, which we definitely are up in the comms box, because I don't like ineligible drivers. They're a pain in the bum. But that is a win for Swansea A on home soil. It is often seen that the Welsh reunions run well on the Welsh circuit, unsurprisingly, using home advantage. But what a drive from Ryan Edwards under such pressure throughout the whole race. Lost the lead, gained the lead, lost it again, went back and forth with a driver who is very, very much on form, is Pascal Pook for Southampton A, and Alex Gunn as well, who's done great things in the past for Huddersfield A. But it's Swansea A with a bit of glory and a big, big moment in the championship and the round for them, because they'll pip Huddersfield A, they'll beat, I think, Bath A as well. So they've definitely got a top 10, possibly even more, as the drivers go round the last couple of corners. The pace car has picked them up. Congratulations to Sheffield as well.
Absolutely.
Sheffield A we've got as comfortable clubman winners. UEA as well. What a morning for them. Second in Clubman. Third, we reckon, are Leeds.
I think
Oxford Brooks A are your round winners. Big congratulations to them. That is just the fight back. That is just the results that Oxford Brooks A and the neutrals in the championship will have wanted today as well. I've got to say, great comeback as well from Exeter A. I did write them off earlier in this round, but I think they've got second place. Loughborough A might be a little bit disappointed when you get 2 wins out of 4, but a 12th and a 24th mean they finish, we reckon, in third. Cambridge A strong again, showing that they are on good form. Winners from round 4, finishing there in 4th. Drivers continuing to come back into the circuit here. Apologies, our monitors are down, so we're doing this the old-fashioned way at the moment, just looking outside, waiting for drivers to come to Mr. Harris. We will go into the lunch break now, of course. We'll be back later on for round number 6 of the championship. Not sure at the moment if it'll be on to win or decide this year's BUKC. I reckon not. Suddenly our screens are back. Just confirm that there was no penalties late on. No, there were no penalties late on in that one. Drivers getting out of their carts at the moment. If you have enjoyed the commentary this morning, Double Dash Motorsport Media, give us a like on Facebook. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Double Dash MM and on Instagram as well. There are some drivers approaching Mr. Harris, but I don't know if they are the key ones that we want to talk to.
Your race winner has just found out he's the race winner.
Is he happy about that?
Well, I just saw him give Mr. Jeremy Todd a very big very big handshake. We'll just see if we can get.
So you're taller than me. You could probably see over the balcony.
I can see. Mr. Harris is heading over now to the race winner. So hopefully we will be able to head down to him any moment now. In fact, he has just found Mr. Harris is now there. So hopefully we'll be able to go down to him any moment now.
How have you enjoyed this morning, mate?
Well,
Swansea win aside.
Swansea win aside.
Sorry,
yeah.
Mate, we'll get to that later. We are now ready with our winner down on the grid with Mr. Jacob Harris. Jacob, over to you.
And here we have our last race winner of round 5, Ryan Edwards. Ryan, your first race win in the BUKC.
Yeah, it's become soon enough, I think, but I thought I was second.
Second on the road. Yeah. Rory Cuff in the Exeter B kart was ineligible.
Enough for second. I only had my first podium at Buckmore. I had third, so I was chuffed with that. And then I thought second here, amazing, but managed to get the race win. So really, really pleased.
Well, maybe that is the pattern, and you'll get first on the road at Clay.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I mean it's one of my local tracks, so I expect to do well here. But yeah, very good.
And the first win of the season for Swansea as well.
Yep, the first win of the season for Swansea. I think it's our first ever win in Premiers as well. So very happy for the team, and hopefully we can continue it for the weekend.
You had a really tough battle there with Pascal Pook in the Southampton kart and a couple of others. Talk us through some of that.
I didn't realise, but I think number 8 was getting on the action as well, wasn't he, in third place. But it looked like just a battle between me and, was it Poe, is it?
Pascal Pook.
Pascal Pook, there we go.
Pook. P-O-O-K.
Okay, Pook. Yeah, it's a very good battle and very close as well.
Well, congratulations on your race win. Hopefully first of many.
Yes, hopefully, mate.
I shall speak to you as and when you win your next one. That is the end of round 5 BUKC 2020. Stick with us. We will be back shortly after a quick lunch break for round 6. 6 more sprint races, 3 lightweights, 3 heavyweights, just as we showed you this morning. Stick around. Be on YouTube, Facebook and the Alpha Life website. For now, we're going to take a short break. See you in a bit.